Last week, I started this episode by saying I could smell it.
Smell what?
Basketball was upon us. The offseason was finally coming to an end, and we started our preseason preview, season of the show, a 4-week thing where we preview every team and go through all the biggest storylines, topics to really give us an outline of what we expect to happen this year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just thought it was him.
You thought it smelled crazy? I showered this morning. Trust me, we're good, guys.
Well, here's the thing. I no longer just smell it. I see it in front of my face. Preseason's on right now as we're recording this. So basketball is back upon us, and we're going to continue that part of the season that I told you about. And today, we're going to talk about the breakout players that will define the 2025-2026 season. We're going to split this convo up into 4 categories. We're not just going to give you the same people everybody talks about, like breakout stars. They're going to become all-stars this year. You guys kind of have a good feel for that. We're going to go category by category, talk about elite role players. They're players that are going to go from being a nobody or being young, whatever it may be, to being a top-tier role player. Players that are good role players now that will make an all-star leap. People that are all-stars now that will make a superstar leap. And then 1 or 2 people that are currently superstars and might make that 2024-2025 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander type leap to become an NBA legend.
There's really that top one, 2 guys.
Yeah, we'll see. But so that's not a big category of people that could be there.
This is honestly one of my favorite type of conversations because it's anybody pure projection, and you can literally talk about any NBA player and build up a case for them to be put on this bucket.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We all came with a list of players that we're gonna make a case for. We're gonna make nominations that we all have to agree that player can and should be on this list, and they'll make our group list of the breakout players for this year.
Hell yeah!
I hope you nominate some good players, not some bullshit. I better not see no goddamn Jarris Walker again.
Oh, best believe he's on this list.
No, he could be in the first category, actually. He definitely could be.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. We'll see what everybody nominated. We'll get into it. Should be a fun time. Basketball's back. We're throwing it back.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He was bragging. I So I think we should start this episode starting from left to right in these categories. I think we should talk about players that we think will go from being, what I wrote down is brown shirts turned elite role players. Now, brown shirt makes it sound like they got to be ass last year. That's not the case. I think most of this, for me at least, is going to be rookies turned good players. Mm-hmm. But it can be anything. Anybody that you think will be making the leap to be one of those guys you look at is you're not a star, but you're one of the more valuable players right below that tier.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I agree.
Well, you go first, Mr. Young Player. Who's your first recommendation?
I will say, when it comes to thinking about someone who was indeed a brown shirt, you were not necessarily very productive NBA player, but the potential in you is fucking oozing. Alex Sarr has to be the poster boy of this. Yeah, obviously he's big, lengthy, center, power forward, or whatever you want to categorize him. He can move. He has passing chops to his game, can move in transition, can handle the ball. Obviously, there's certain things about his game that you would hate, tendencies. Sometimes he took quite too many threes. He thinks he's Paul George once in a while. But overall, I think once you put the vets around him, CJ McCollum, Donovan? Wasn't he the president of the Players Association?
He was.
Exactly. Chris Middleton's there now. They have a little bit more organization on that roster. Give him more spacing. Give him more of a role. Give him another year under his belt. I think he's going to prove to be an elite role player, and eventually, not this season, but maybe a couple years down the line, he's going to be an all-star.
That's a decent pick. I think this tier is going to be a lot of rookies because they're going to make the expected second-year leap, and like you said, maybe a couple more years before you start talking about, are they going to be an all-star or anything? I can understand this one, just because even if the efficiency is still god-awful, and he still doesn't have the on-ball chops to necessarily take the type of shots he wants to take. Yeah. The spacing's not there fully. If the rim finishing isn't quite where it needs to be for him to be a go-to guy, I think if the defense continues on the trajectory it's going to be right now, at the very least, he'll be a very good defender that can carry the ball in transition and do a little bit of grab-and-go type things. And that sounds like the makings of an elite role player.
But I feel very hesitant for a couple reasons. One, I feel like putting the number 1 pick into this is it's... Oh, true.
Number 2.
I forgot.
Yeah.
The Hawks are stupid.
My bad.
No. I like what you said. He's actually on my list.
Yeah, he's good.
But to have the number 2 overall pick in this, it kind of feels like it goes against of what we always argue for the most improved player. It's come on, man. You are drafted this highly, and you probably for 28 of the other teams in the league, you were probably going to be the number 1 overall pick. You just said like, oh, I didn't.
But the same thing could be said about like someone like superstar to legend. We all know who we have up there. They're probably going to be that. But
Yeah,
that,
sure.
Yeah, but
also-
he is in a position to where like one, and obviously we're using the term like super loosely, but I also think that like him turning into an elite role player, it's still like that's not the end goal. I feel like he's on like a different metric than like this like very linear progression of
Two
where
things.
these tiers are.
This isn't biggest surprises of the year, so I don't think it has to be shocking to make the list. If you think you're saying it's predictable, I think it's fine for this list. Just I don't want to set that precedent because
that's fair.
a lot of these will be predictable. Also, number 2 pick in like the worst draft class ever. It's a draft class full of role players, so I don't think just because he's number 2, he's like has to be a star one day to where like becoming an elite role player is an assumption. I treat it like that because I like him a lot, and I love the defensive flashes, mobility. He did have a 45% effective field goal percentage as a 7-footer. He is starting for the goddamn gutter offensively. So if we do think that he will make a shooting leap and he will have better creation around him with CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, everybody in the door, and we do think that he'll like legitimately be a positive player, I wouldn't keep him off the list because of the number 2 overall pick thing. But you could tell me that he's not going to be an elite role player. That's not crazy.
Exactly.
I'm also, and obviously like for him, and maybe like a couple other guys, I really do feel like choosing who you think is going to make a leap and not a leap. There's obviously like you can look at whatever stats. You're gonna turn a blind eye towards that for people that you like. You're gonna focus on it for people that you don't really like. It's 100% subjective in that sense. But also, like you said, if you are 7 feet and you shoot 23% at the rim and you shoot 31% from 3, and if I look on your cleaning the glass page and everything is blue, I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt that like, oh yeah, in one offseason you're just going to come in and do what Anthony Edwards did, and now you're going to be a good shooter. Obviously not top, but like that's a very big leap to ask for him to go from that to very NBA caliber average.
I will say with Sarr, for this list, maybe we could say there isn't as much concrete reasons why you believe Sarr will make a jump. It's just like he's 19 and now he's 20, so he must be better. So it's like it's an assumption of progression that I don't disagree with, but I can understand not putting him on this list just because we want to be more selective of players. This is a group list. We're making bets on these players. We're putting our name that these are the stamped players. I'm okay saying Alex Sarr is like one of the first cuts, just because it's not like they added CJ McCollum, which is nice. It's not like they added Luka Doncic or like.
Oh no! Trust me, this is damn near Luka Doncic compared to what they had last year. It's like that level of magnitude of importance.
Well, I say that because Bub Carrington's still going to be their point guard. They're still going to have the same playmaking setup for him. I love CJ McCollum as a good tertiary player. I think he'll be traded this year. I don't think he's the type of player that's going to make the playmaking environment around Sarr better. I still think he's going to have to take a lot of lumps being an on-ball creator. They're not going to have a ton of vehicles in their actions to set him up for easy shots to make me assume he'll be like a good rim finisher.
But guess what? They have like the biggest like wall that was there. Jonas Valanciunas out of there now. So I feel like there's much more space and opportunities for him to operate.
I don't even think that mattered that much the second half of last year. He was playing a lot of center and just still was shit around the rim. I don't think it was because of Jonas.
Jonas does not make his life any easier though.
Sure, but I'm not willing to say to him playing next to who Chris Middleton instead is gonna like blossom his abilities as a scorer.
Just a little bit, yeah. It's gonna make his life easier.
It up a little bit, but I think I'm with Donovan. I'm okay with not including him. He's worth a mention, but I'm willing to say he's not a lock to be an elite role player this year.
Not a lock to be. Okay, wow. Even with, I think going back to like the defense and the natural value of his positioning as well, I think he will just easily slip into that because just in general, there's not a lot of guys in the league at his position who can do the defense, who can do the transition stuff, who can do the ball handling stuff, who can also like at times have passing vision as well while also being somewhat of a lob threat. Like that value was just like so rare. And if I see, let's say like he doesn't even like shoot league average at the rim for his position, slightly below that, I still think he's going to be a valuable elite role player.
Okay, so I'll ask you this question because there's a couple other guys that may fit this role on this list.
Yeah.
Do you think that Alex Sarr is going to be a player that defensively can hold everything down next year?
No,
Hold him a lot down, not everything though. I don't think I don't think he's a type like a Rudy Gobert to hold everything down. That's not his target.
I think we should also put the baseline of what an elite role player is. OG Anunoby. Are you an OG Anunoby tiers of players?
I mean,
OG Anunoby.
That's like first, second team all defense. You know, like that's
okay. Well, maybe it could be a little bit lower. Whatever the line is for us, someone that's like truly like great role player, not just like you're better and you're good, but like you're somebody that's not an all-star, but you are one of the more valuable
like
players.
Alex
Aaron Gordon.
Caruso type.
Yeah, we're naming super outliers. I think Aaron Gordon's a good example because he's not one of the best defenders.
Is Derek White a super outlier for elite
People
role
treat
player?
him like an all-star, so I didn't want to say his name, but like type shit, like a few years ago. Yeah. Well, let's say Aaron Gordon. I think Aaron Gordon's a good example.
Type shit. Yeah.
I'm okay leaving Alex Sarr off.
Okay, Alex Sarr's our first cut. Damn, Alex.
Sorry, Alex. What do you guys think? My first recommendation, Jalen Duren. I view Jalen Duren as a lock to be like
elite role
elite role player. All-star is on the table, I think, one day. I don't know if this year, but I do think last year in the second half of the season, he did make defensive strides. Obviously, his whole thing defensively was just positional understanding and like court mapping and knowing where he is defensively as a pick and roll defender, playing good drop and being able to, move up on ball handlers without necessarily leaving the lob man wide open, defend the lob man without let people walk into a wide open mid-range shot, be a help side defender, all that typical young big man stuff. He was kind of terrible at it for the first couple of years of his career. I did think he looked decent in the second half of last year, made serious improvements. And offensively, kind of one of the more underrated bigs in the league. Like he's kind of a low-key on the path to being incredible offensively. He can do some short roll passing. Obviously, he's an insanely athletic finisher, good offensive rebounder. I kind of will be shocked if he's not an elite role player.
110% agree. He was the guy on my list. But since we're on do you have any rebuttal when it comes to Jalen Duren?
No, because I also think that he's in a great situation.
Exactly.
And like and being with Cade is like, okay, you're going to have all the opportunities to be that elite role player because you know that like he's running the show. You're not looking to Jalen Duren to be like the second option on your offense.
Yeah.
But low key, he might be the second option on their offense. It's the crazy part.
Okay, however, I feel like that is more of a state of like the Pistons and what else they have offensively around Cade rather than like the ideal situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that you do have Cade there, and we've been talking about it for the last like 2.5 years. Like, okay, when is Detroit going to make this trade to get in another like offensive creator? If we start the season and Jaden Ivey kind of fills that role,
very true.
Then you have Cade, Ivey, and then Duren is the third part of that. Yeah. And I think that his offense is also massive and needed because it takes pressure off of Asar and his offensive development. It takes pressure off of Ron Holland and the things that like you want them to grow in.
Yeah.
So I like him. I think this makes sense.
Yeah, I honestly feel like the Pistons could have like damn near 2-3 players on this list because I had Asar Thompson here as well. Obviously, like last year was absolutely neutered by what he went through when it comes to the blood clots. He didn't get much opportunity that genuinely hampered his like growth. But obviously, we know he's one of the most talented wing defenders. There's a hole in his game when it comes to shooting, just like his brother, of course. But when it comes to the idea of him taking on more responsibility on offense, I think that will probably lead to be true. Someone said that. I think their head coach said that in a press conference. And I feel like if there's any room or any like ounce of like, okay, we have room for one non-shooter in our lineup, it's gonna be for him, and the opportunity will be thrown at him because of how hellacious of a defender he is.
Yeah, I think Asar Thompson should definitely be in this tier as well. Like, just because we know he can do. He's like a clone of a man. In the way that they're twins, they have the same exact game. Like, there's reasons that they've been separated in small differences in their games. Like maybe we feel like a man is a little bit better of a ball handler. We feel like he's a little bit better of a cutter or whatever. A lot of it just because Asar has missed time and is in an offense where his lack of shooting has been a bigger deal to the way they play, just because they don't have so many baked in ways of playing without non-shooters like the Houston Rockets do.
Yeah.
They're like weirdly 99th percentile of playing with guys who can't shoot. So they've been able to allow men to thrive in those skills. Asar isn't really worse at these things. Asar can also handle the ball. Asar is also one of the best defenders in the NBA, can also cut, also has good instincts. I'm with you. I think him and Duren are both locks, and I think the Pistons are going to be like top 4 in their conference because both these guys become damn near all-stars.
Yeah, right now, like, and obviously, like, we all love the Thompson twins. This is their ceiling right now. Just, like, if they, everyone talks about them and, like, obviously, like, their work ethic, and everybody loves them. And if they can learn how to shoot, all right, cool. Then we're talking about, like, all-star elite, superstars, that type of stuff. If you never get that from either one of these guys, they're still going to be elite role players, and they're going to be the exception to non-shooters, because when you're in this, the weak link era, you can't go after them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't do the whoever offense because they're gonna lock up everybody. So elite role player definitely.
I'm buying all stock in both these guys. What do you think Jalen Duren shot at the rim?
I'm gonna go 70%.
73, which is like
Yeah.
normal, good non-shooting big, like good slasher. What do you think he shot from floater range?
60%.
No, that's ridiculous. That's Jokic territory.
Yeah.
Calm down.
We'll go like 37.
55.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
55 is nuts.
5% off. Okay.
You gotta
That's not-
you gotta know how to play the game clearly.
yeah. Like 60 was like 55 is crazy though. Like
Yeah.
even the fact that you're close, that's ridiculous. Like he has legit touch there. He has a floater. I think his short roll passing is very underrated. This is a guy over the summer I've become a bigger fan of as I've thought through things. I'm buying all stock in Duren, even after being pretty critical of his defense in the first couple of years. I think there's enough there that has been fixed that even if he doesn't become some like elite shot blocker like he should be with his physical tools, his offense is going to be outrageous this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I 110% agree.
Damn. Okay. Who's the next recommendation for elite role player league?
I would like to recommend
Yeah.
Donovan Clingan.
That's a good pick. And that second year player, that makes total sense.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that Clingan, obviously like second year in the league, his defensive presence and his defensive value obviously is going to drive all of this. And this is why I asked you the question about Sarr being able to hold everything down, because with Clingan, I don't care. Like the offense doesn't really matter in terms of like in terms of like his development. I know he's not going to be a guy that takes mad shots, but I do think that he's going to be a guy where defensively, and especially with the infrastructure that they have there, he's going to have a lot of responsibility, but also be able to hold things down.
Yeah.
And now that DeAndre Ayton's gone, they've cleared the way for him to be the starting center, to be the center of the future. So I think that we can look up at the end of this year, and regardless of where the Blazers are at, we'll look at them and say, okay, you have Tamani Kamara, you have Denny, you have Clingan. That's why your defense is going to be towards the top of the league. Like I really like him.
My only question: what if Mr. Hansen snatches his chain? What if?
I mean, listen,
Yeah, that's a great problem to have.
I know, right? Even that, I'm kidding. Because even if that is the case,
Yeah.
and Yang Hansen is their center of the future as a starter, Clingan is your sixth man, being an elite shot blocker.
That's ridiculous.
That's amazing. I think elite role player is a good tier to put him in, just because I'm a little concerned about his offensive touch, his foot speed, and whether or not he can get in better shape this year to be able to hold his own a little bit better, especially conditioning wise. That's all normal rookie big man stuff. So I'm not out on it, but I want to see that before I'm like, this is going to be the next Gobert or anything crazy in terms of like, he's a type of defender that can do enough offensively that he's like all-star caliber because he's that good defensively. I'm going to wait on that. But I think elite role player is damn near a guarantee just because he's that special of a shot blocker.
Yeah, and last year, I mean, he played 67 games last year, played just under 20 minutes. And so the conditioning stuff, I completely agree with you. Because all that is, well, hopefully, if he stays healthy, but like you're hoping you can get 70 games out of him and he can play 25 to 28 minutes a night. And if that happens, I think that Portland is in a situation where they're going to be this super frisky team. You just added Drew. Like they're going to have lineups where defensively, nobody is going to be super, super overtaxed. And because of that, having a great shot blocker, having an above average shot blocker in Clingan, he's going to be able to get amplified by everybody else and get magnified. So I really like the case for him for Clingan to be like, oh wow, like this Blazers defense is genuinely good.
Yeah, I'm really looking for him to be a better finisher too. Like I think he'll be in better condition this year. I think that'll help with his foot speed defensively. I mentioned Jalen Duren shooting 73% at the rim. I was like, okay, non-shooting big. You want to be above 70%, right? He was at 64% as a rookie.
Yikes.
We need to get to 70%. We need to be a little more reliable as a down low finisher, finishing over help defenders with that gigantic frame he has.
Okay,
but I'm still with you. I think this is a good pick. Who's your
Very
next?
safe.
Who's your next recommendation?
Okay, my next recommendation. Let's stay in the same conference. Matter of fact, let's take that to another step. Next recommendation to you guys. Let's take that to the next team. Stay to the same team. Scoot Henderson. Do you guys think that he has an opportunity to turn into an elite role player?
Opportunity, absolutely.
Do it actually happen?
Do I think it's possible? Yes. I'm not against it just because of shooting me such a leap last year. And like he's a legit good spot up shooter now. And I think he has everything in him to be a very good defender that can be an on-ball defender fighting over screens. And if we can have that be the baseline and then the on-ball stuff comes around a little bit, that's quickly a very valuable player that can be like Angie Nemhard-esque one day if the off the dribble shooting comes around. Am I 100% guaranteeing it's going to happen? I don't know.
And even if it does happen, do I think elite role player is the tier he's going to be in next year? No.
I think it's possible. I'm not out on it. It's not crazy. You could sell me on this, but especially with the injury and Drew being there, and we're assuming that could be good for him. Also, could not be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they have other pieces there. I'm not as confident as I am with these other guys we have on the screen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to listen to the case though.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have a case for him. He was one of those guys who he was like on the line, and I thought it was interesting to talk about him because obviously, like throughout the first 2 years of his career, for the most part, it's been a genuine disappointment because he was advertised as the next like high flying, like super ridiculous athlete. People spoke about him in the same lights of like Ja and also fucking Russell Westbrook and all that in terms of athleticism and his finishing ability, and none of that shit held to remain true. And of course, like his shooting and his passing and defense was that too.
Yeah,
wasn't very good at those abilities. And seeing how those things have developed and gotten like seismically better, genuinely, especially towards the back half of the year.
Yeah.
It moves me, but I don't know if it's like a safe bet necessarily.
Yeah, it moves me as well. I think I'm looking at his first 26 games versus last 40 games of last season. He only played 66. In the first 26 games, he was on ball 34% of the time, and that dropped to 32% in the last 40 games. And in that time, he went from 11.3 points per game to 13.6 while having the ball less because he shot 37.4% from three, opposed to 30% in those first 26 games.
Yeah, I got to see that.
I did buy the shooting jumps. I think that is real. I think he is a very good off-ball player now. Like he is an off-ball combo guard that will never be the like elite slasher we thought he'd be. I think he's just not that athletic. Like he's a good athlete, not great, and he needs to be great with the lack of handle and lack of like creativity he has as a finisher. So I'm kind of out on that. I'm kind of viewing him now like, can you be Eric Bledsoe, which is a very good player, and if you can be Eric Bledsoe plus with a little more juice, that's great. But Eric Bledsoe's really good, so I think that's kind of a high bar. Even though people might laugh at that, I think that is that's a successful outcome after what we saw as a rookie.
Yeah.
No, if you want to put him here, I'm not against it.
I don't want to put him here.
All right, you just want to say the name? All right,
yeah. I just wanted to mention him and see what was the overall temperature in this room for him.
No, yeah,
he's right like on that line.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm open to being proven wrong about Scoot this year. I won't be shocked if we look up and he is an elite role player, and I say, okay, well, maybe we should have given more credit.
Yeah, he's my first real honorable mention.
Okay. Here's a unique pick, Jordan Poole. How do we feel about that? Going to the Pelicans. I don't think DeJounte Murray's back to start the year. He's going to I don't know when he's supposed to come back. I think it's probably going to be midseason because he had that midseason injury. Jordan Poole's going to start the year as a starting point guard. I kind of like what I saw out of Jordan Poole a lot last year with the Wizards. I feel like he really like stepped into being a mature, like playing like a veteran type of guy. The playmaking was really good. I felt like he was playing a sort of like Damian Lillard style of basketball where he was focused. The off the dribble three was really good. He was able to utilize that and the gravity created in his pick and rolls to become a good slasher. The passing was good. I could kind of envision a world where if the starting line to start the season is him, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion, I don't know, Looney or whoever the center is, I kind of could see him being like a really good point guard, setting up and playing off Zion really well.
Okay. I don't disagree. Elite role player leap. I don't know because the only reason why I'm not like super excited to put him in this tier is just because I don't know if it's elite. Like I think
it's a return to form.
Yeah, I think that everything that he did in Washington was 100% real, and I think that what he was on track to do in Golden State is basically where we're at. Like obviously things got knocked off track once you get shipped out of there after getting punched in the face, but like you're back to just being Jordan Poole. So I don't know if it's a leap.
Well, here's the thing. I guess the main part is reputation catching up to reality from last year. If you buy that last year's real,
okay.
And I think people just didn't know about it because he was a goddamn wizard in a wasted season. But last year,
is that going to change in New Orleans being a Pelican?
Yeah, if they're healthy, they'll be a solid team with Zion.
It's like this is like the most unhealthy team in the league.
Sure, but at this rate, they're all healthy. Zion's skinny. I don't know. I'm just giving them credit for as of constructed, they're going to be a good team.
Okay,
I think where that falls in a stacked West, I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing they're in the playoffs or anything, but they'll be respectable insofar as they're not last year's Wizards where they're completely irrelevant. And I think last year he averaged 55% effective field goal percentage. The only time he did that in his career was that third year with the Warriors where he had that really efficient season in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Past 2 years after that, it was god awful. Let's not forget how terrible he was the first year of the Wizards. Like he made a serious jump last year. I think him doing it again while being a lead playmaker for a team that needs that and where it matters, is like a meaningful like form of consistency we've never seen from him. He's never had 2 great years in a row.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, you said they're not last year's Wizards. The Wizards won 18 games last year. The Pelicans won 21. And like the
I'm saying this year's supposed to be better.
And like but like the main thing is like obviously the Zion of it all. But even if that's the case,
and Herb Jones, who also missed time, and then DeJounte Murray, who's now replaced with Jordan Poole in the rotation, like they had a lot of pieces gone that it could happen again, but they weren't bad because they were bad. Whereas the Wizards will certainly be bad again.
That's true. This team is consistently either unhealthy or when they are together underperforming because we still right now I have no idea what to think about the Pelicans even with everybody there, everybody healthy, and because yes, everybody's healthy. Everybody's also coming off an injury, which is super weird to reintegrate everybody. So I'm not sure how to feel about it.
I'm not here to tell you the Pelicans are making the 6th seed. I don't give a fuck about the Pelicans. I'm just saying Jordan Poole will be really good, and when the team is whole, he will fit really well, and I think he'll get the reputation again as being like one of the better players to not be an all-star.
Okay, yeah, I can get with him being good and the general idea, but again, for the sake of how we worded this, I don't know necessarily. Going back to like the reputation that he has, I don't know if he belongs here.
I think it's good. I think it's good to have different cases other than like year 2 or 3 players obviously progress. And I feel like this is the type of guy that's had ups and downs, and the path will be very different than the path for Donovan Clingan, obviously. Yeah. But I do think he'll have a meaningfully different reputation than he did even right now.
Yeah.
6 months from now.
Okay, I'm fine with putting him here because I genuinely do believe he's gonna like, in terms of the leap, I think the leap will also happen when it comes to how we talk about him as well, which coincides with this conversation. So I think I'm fine with that.
Does the vote have to be unanimous?
I mean, are you anti? Everything you said has been about the Pelicans being bad, which is like not the point.
No,
Are you anti Jordan Poole and him being meaningfully better than when we talk about him? Are you anti the fit? That's a selling point.
It's just the thing of I just don't think it's a leap because I just think he played well last year.
Yeah, but playing well on a shit team for really half a season, or really, I guess
he's gonna do the same thing this year. He's gonna play.
No,
well
there's a difference though. It might be a shit team again, but it won't be a tanking team. Is very different. It's not a tanking team.
It's gonna be the same thing.
But that's your hang up. That's a bullshit hang up. That's nothing to do with Jordan Poole. That's a ridiculous hang up.
I see what you mean though.
I don't
think that. I don't think that the way that we're going to talk about Jordan Poole this year is going to be meaningfully different than the way that I think a lot of the reputation reconstruction happened last year.
I don't think it did though for the masses. I think if you poll like the average fans, people don't know shit about what happened to the Wizards last year.
Well, I don't. It's also weird because like having Jordan Poole like reputation conversations is weird because he was a Warrior to start his career, and like that's one of what like the 4 biggest fan bases in the world,
and ended sour, so it made it even harder.
Yeah, so like he might just for the rest of his career towards the general public might just be a guy where they're like, okay, yeah, like that's cool, but like that's the guy that got punched in the face. Like,
okay. Well, what do you think? Should we do this or not?
I mean, you guys said no. If it has to be unanimous, then no. But like if
should we do unanimous? Are we gonna be here forever if it's unanimous? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
just put him on there.
Yeah, we put him on.
Okay. Shout out Jordan Poole. The picture I have of you is still on the Warriors jersey, which is hilarious. Several teams removed. Okay, we're 30 minutes in. Let's speed through the rest.
Like,
all right.
This is gonna be the biggest tier, so it's fine. We spend the most time on it. But let's speed through the next people you guys want to recommend.
All right, next guy I want to recommend, easy, get him out the way. Terrence Shannon Jr. Last year we did not see him at all. Well, we did see him, but it was just like in random spurts. Their head coach did not play him necessarily. He tends to not show rookies love. We also saw the same thing happening with Robert Dillingham, but Robert's not going to be on this list at all. I think Terrence Shannon Jr. is exactly what this team needs in terms of juice, being a dynamic scorer, size, physicality, and he just like has a lot of things that this team lacks outside of Anthony Edwards.
My question though, is he going to be an elite role player, or is he just going to be like a role player, someone who's in the rotation and like is useful? But do we really think he'll be like, I could close games with this guy, or like he's like really needle moving, changing the team?
I think because of what he did in the playoffs last year. Now, mind you, this sample size is coming from random things that he did in the regular season, but those last 3 games that he played in the postseasons, he legitimately helped this team win a game against OKC. I think it was one of the last 3 games that he played. He dropped like 15 points on like super limited time. And he was initially just put out there to just like, be a body, play solid defense. But he actually gave them legit juice with the scoring off of the dribble. And this team is, again, like, they need that shit so badly. So I think genuinely he'll be viewed as an elite role player for this.
I think he'll be an important role player. I don't know if I believe he'll be elite just because I think his slashing is obviously like real. He's a very good downhill slasher. Or do we feel confident that like the passing or the defense or the shooting is going to come around with that?
I feel, the shooting definitely should be there. I feel very confident in that. I feel like the shooting off the dribble will be there as well. So I'm confident in that.
Yeah, it's really a competition. I feel like between him and Rob of like who's going to take that leap and be the sixth man for this team and try to fill the hole that Nah had after he left. I like Terrence Shannon a lot, and I think that he is going to make the leap. I think that he is going to be the guy, and he's just much more suited for just one for the simple fact that he's just bigger than Rob, and it's just going to be a little bit easier for him to get his game off than Rob is.
He'll certainly have the opportunity to turn into an elite role player. I think I could see him being like I said, a role player, and like that's going from not being a rotation to being like a consistent, meaningful part of a good team. I think is something. I'm not super confident it would be like elite level where we look at like a Sar Thompson or Jalen Duren, where I'm like, that's going to be like an OG Anunoby type guy. I don't see that personally, but I'm willing to put him on there just because the opportunity is there. Didn't prove me wrong.
Yeah. I think he definitely genuinely belongs to be on there. Mid-season, I think this was around when Julius Randle was out, I believe. Mm-hmm. He got a little bit more burn, a little bit more opportunity. And in these 7 games where he was quite like relied upon, he put up 14 points while also shooting 94% from the free throw line and 51% from the field. So I think once the opportunity is there, he's clearly going to pop as to be like, oh, like he's a go-to scorer. Oh, like he could be like a 6th man for this team, which is obviously valuable.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of view him as like Jonathan Kuminga-esque, where like his slashing is insanely valuable. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, I don't have a read for if like the defense is going to be needle moving enough that he can close games. But then again, they have a lot of good defenders in that team. They have good infrastructure, so they can figure it out. Yeah. We can leave him on here.
All right, cool. My next nomination, Modest Buzelis.
Nice.
Yeah, I have him on here as well.
Yeah, so I have him here in this role in this elite role player leap just because making like an all-star leap in year 2 that's just hard.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's an unrealistic and kind of unfair expectation to put on him, even though that he is extremely, extremely, extremely versatile. The shooting came around in the second half of last year. We've all talked about like his finishing ability, his ability to really just do a little bit of everything on the floor. That's like all of that is going to be amplified. Now, if you tell me that we get to the second half of the year and the Bulls actually start acting like a regular organization and they trade some people away and he gets even more time, even more opportunity to grow his role, by the time February or March comes around, we can have this conversation again. And then I'll probably tell you, oh yeah, next year is going to be the leap for Modest. But like right now, I'll say elite role player leap is where he's at. I 100% agree.
It really, to me, comes down to what his defense is like, because we know he has some shot blocking chops there. He flashed that at times. Very long defender, very mobile athlete. I could see him taking the leap and also being a really good defender. Mm-hmm. At that point, we could be like, this is going to be a 2-way guy that is going to be an all-star convos. But yeah, we could wait there just because he doesn't really show anything as a playmaker. The shooting from the corners is really good. The 3-point shooting is good. It's not like he's showing a pull-up game or anything more versatile than shooting wide open threes, which is all you need for now when his slashing is as exciting as his slashing is. But I'll wait to do all-star talks until we get a little more dynamic skills.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. This is going to be one of the most useful wings in the league.
Most definitely, I agree.
Next one I have recommended. How do you feel about Isaiah Collier? I think this will be one of the better playmakers in the league one day. Like, this is a downhill driver that has, I think, elite passing in disguise. Like, he could be a 10 assists per game guy if the right system is there for him. The shooting is just so non-existent, though. And I don't really have any reason to believe he'll become a good shooter. But I do feel like he has enough strong skills as a driver, paint touch generator, and amazing passer that if this team is a little bit more competent this year, with Ace Bailey, Lowry Markkanen, and Sensabaugh all being what should be really good shooters, that's like legit elite shooting if all 3 of those guys are starting next to him, assuming Bryce Sensabaugh is going to be the starting 2. And then you have minutes with Filipowski at 5. That could be legit 5-out spacing with slashers. I think he could average 8.5 assists this year.
Yeah.
If he gets that usage, I don't know. But
yeah, I think he should be a popular pick, but obviously he's not because he slid in the NBA draft, and then obviously too he's in Utah. And I think there's a lot of good redeeming skills. I think the system also is very much put in place. He has solid shooters around him. Larry Markkanen's still there. Ace Bailey, who's going to be a good shooter, is there as well. I like that. I like this pick. I can see this happening.
I think this is like the only question is, can he be an elite role player if he's a point guard that can't shoot? If you tell me, and like it's kind of doing back to the thing with Terrence Shannon, where I'm like, I'm confident in their super strong skills, but do we think they're going to be well rounded enough to be like actually elite role player, or are we just highlighting guys that we think are going to be interesting?
I would put him more in the interesting category. 27% from three is disgusting.
Yeah, and then again, year one, it could improve, but there's no I'm not like confident it'll improve. But I do think his strengths are like way stronger than Terrence Shannon Jr.'s.
Do you think he'll be like one of the, I don't know, top 10 best playmakers in the league?
Maybe one day. This year, that's a high bar.
Just one day in general.
I don't know. One day, I think that's possible. But for that to happen, he has to make some scoring strides and like have some gravity. Like the days of Ricky Rubio types are gone. You can't play like that anymore these days. So he'll have to improve as a scorer to draw attention before he can actually get into those talks. But I do think he has the passing just feel for that to be the case one day.
And that's because of that, I think that he's a year away from being a year away then.
Yeah, year 3 guy. Yeah. Again, I also won't be shocked though. Like I said, if he could average 8.5 assists this year, and that's a lot. And defensively, I don't think he's a slouch. I think he has good hands. He's mobile. He's athletic. He's a strong build. I think he'll only get stronger as years go on. It's really just the shooting that will decide it. And you could argue there's so many strengths that if that's just the one thing, maybe it's a pretty easy thing to project that could improve over the summer. Or you could say there's no reason to think that because of just linear progression. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, when it comes to Isaiah Collier, like that one hole, like you said, when it comes to shooting is super hard to work around. And in terms of like value, how hard is it for him to like, how hard is it for someone like him to go ahead and like showcase that when like you can literally hold your team back at times, and it's harder to work and build around you. And because that skill, you have a great, like one of the stronger skills in the league, is just hard to like really like make that an outlier skill.
Would he hold his team back? Like it's not like that type of team. Like they have so much shooting and like
hold this team back just in terms of make your team's life a little bit harder.
I don't know if that's gonna be the case though. Like
they're first of all, they're gonna make their own lives harder.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna suck. And then two, they're also he is at a disadvantage because he's only gonna have, in terms of like being in this category and like helping and being like an elite role player, he's going to have like 35 games where the Jazz are playing actual legitimate basketball. And then like they're going to play the rest of the season, just putting the worst lineups possible. If Lowry ends up getting traded, then like everything that you would need for his skills to actually be on display, that's going to be gone. And so, yes, he can still make plays. The counting stats might be worse because people just aren't knocking down shots. And then you need him to have a second half of the year shooting burst to even, pop up and be like, oh, look what he's doing. It's actually kind of interesting. If he's not like on top of it by like Christmas or the New Year, it's gonna like feel really weird because somebody's getting traded after that. We're gonna be looking at Ace Bailey and looking at his development a lot more. I feel like he has a lot more things to overcome in this specific situation than if he was playing for like, I don't know, like San Antonio or something like. Or wrong example, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that also gets back to the thing with Jordan Poole. I don't want to put too much indexing on like for this list on what we think their team outcome will be, just because even if it is that case and it is 2 months of him looking like an elite role player, then the team purposely shits themselves and he has no help and sucks. I would still consider that a victory for him in terms of this conversation.
Yeah.
So, but if we do feel like the shooting is too big of a thing and we're not guaranteed that he's gonna have the environment for it to not matter, I'm okay leaving him off.
Yeah, I think I'd probably want to leave him off.
Okay. What do you guys think about Reed Shepard? He
should be on this as well.
But that's hard though because last year there's not a ton of indicators, but he will be so thrusted into a role of responsibility that like it's sink or motherfucking swim.
Yeah, so like we've never seen thrust like this before.
No.
And he was way too far. He's way too far gone in the other direction for me to come back and say he's going to be an elite role player right here.
Yeah, there's nothing to go off of other than us liking him pre-draft. But also, I mean, it's not like it's crazy that we like this guy pre-draft and we think he can be an elite role player clearly. Just doesn't have that big of a role as a rookie. So, of course, his stats aren't very good because there's no consistency. And then now there is consistency and he has enough enough opportunities for him to be who we liked before.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be outlandish for us to like rest on our priors pre-draft off of that. I don't think he looked completely outmatched physically to the point where he'll never be useful, but it would be just coasting off of priors. So I understand that.
And you're going to ask this guy to come in and just run point for a team that has championship hopes? Like,
yes.
That's way too much.
Also, he's not going to be a starting point guard, I think. I think he'll be the backup point guard that plays a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
I think they'll start with like this like Amen Thompson kind of being the pseudo starter, playing a lot through Kevin Durant, a lot through Sengun, and then Reed will be the important backup that plays big minutes.
This is gonna be the biggest starting line we've seen. Yeah,
I imagine that's what they're gonna do.
I think it's too much to put on him and to say that he's actually going to do it.
Yeah, this would be the one like it's just a shot in the dark of like, are we gonna call our shot that we were that confident in pre-draft? Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at putting him on the list, but if you guys don't want to, that's fine.
I think I would put him on the list personally. Like with
what
pre-draft clouds.
He was playing in Rio Grande.
Okay, well, he was balling in Rio Grande too.
Do you think he's taking like 35 shots a game? Like,
yeah, but again, this isn't just the part of it is also like, you know, you're trying to like get ahead of it and like call like, I do think this guy's good and now I'll have opportunity. No, I don't think it's outlandish.
I understand that. I think he can be a good elite role player. Is like if we set the line at Aaron Gordon, right, and like we're trying to get to that stratosphere, and we're like, yeah, Reed Shepherd year 2, like first real time in the NBA, he's gonna be. What, like one standard deviation away from Aaron Gordon? Like that's a lot.
What's fucking me up is you put Terrence Shannon Jr. on here, so that's what's fucking me up.
At least Terrence Shannon. At least he had at least a moment where he like showed that he can do the things that the Wolves need him to do.
Yeah, I just don't think what they need him to do is that significant in the grand scheme of things as far as like this list goes. Mm-hmm. I think we're talking about like a pretty niche role player here that like you said, the standard deviation was Aaron Gordon. There's no way in fuck he's in Aaron Gordon conversations. Well, I do think he'll be good and like useful and important part. No way in fuck he'll be in Aaron Gordon conversations to me. That's the hard part. Is why I'm like, if we're putting him on there, we can do a lot of interesting niche players.
Take him off then.
No, he got to.
Take him off.
It's not my list. I'm not gonna hate that hard. We can leave him if you want.
Yeah,
but I think that's a similar type of role that Reed's gonna have in terms of a good team that needs a specific skill set. I think he'll be better at it.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to thinking about Aaron Gordon, what he is today is probably not the best metric for what we're hoping for right now.
But it is elite. We did say elite, not just players that play. You know, like we are trying to make it. These are cream of the crop breakout guys.
Yeah, and I do think every single one of these players, especially Terrence Shannon Jr., is going to be that. Like,
okay,
he definitely deserves to stay. I think his shooting is. If you watch him closely this upcoming year, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, like this dude can shoot. He does have off the dribble stuff that a team like this especially like needs, and they're gonna ask for him to do that and rely on him to do so. So
yeah, I'm not against it. I'm just saying that's less of a sure bet, less of a high ceiling of like responsibility than some of these other guys. But we can leave him on there. Would you guys have any last ones you guys want to do before we move on to the next tier?
Okay, so I have a couple of flyers.
Okay,
so actually no, only one real one that's interesting to talk about that I have on my list is Cole Anthony. Do you guys think that he has an opportunity? Is there like a stratosphere?
Sure.
I just don't think he's a scenario where he could like go ahead and save the Bucks?
No, save the Bucks.
Not save the Bucks, but just be like an actual player for them.
He's not efficient enough, good enough. He's a small defender. He's not a reliable enough 3-point shooter. He's a good paint touch generator, but not a reliable enough rim finisher. Splitting minutes with Kevin Porter Jr., you can't really play both at the same time. And they're both there. I think they like Kevin Porter more for some reason. So I find it hard to believe he'll make that leap personally.
And even if he does, it won't matter. Like come on.
Khalil Ware as a flyer. How do you feel about that? Going to year 2. Last year he was starting next to Bam Adebayo. I think there's some question marks right now if he's going to be starting again. He could be, 5-out spacer playing next to him.
I think he definitely belongs here.
I don't have much reason other than like archetype and opportunity. Like it'll be interesting if he continues to develop as a shot blocker and can play next to Bam Adebayo.
I think he's definitely gonna like slow down, or he's gonna have a slower start just for the sake of like less playmaking opportunities, and the floor is gonna feel a lot smaller without Tyler Hero there initially to start the year. But I think towards the end of the year we could see him, and if he expands upon his shooting and he's like an actual. It's hard to think of him as like an offensive threat outside of like the shooting taking a jump, and then also on top of that too, like the lob catching.
Yeah, that's all he has to do. He's just spot up from 3 and catch lobs. Like that's all he has to do. Can you be DeAndre Jordan that can hit an open 3? That's insanely valuable. And to be fair, DeAndre
that's
Jordan's
also a
my bad,
high
my bad,
bar.
my bad.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan. That's one of the best lob catchers of all time. He's a different type of athlete, much stronger. So maybe not DeAndre Jordan. Can you be Daniel Gafford, who can shoot threes?
that's still like a really, really good player. And
Well, that's also very
I think he
possible.
could do that. I think he definitely could do that.
He shot 35% on non-corner threes, 20% on corner threes last year. 35% above the break on 82 for the season. Legit shooting indicator. 52% from short mid-range, 70% at the rim. It's really is he going to be like even better defensively? That's kind of what this rests on. He's not going to take a leap with the ball in his hands, I don't think. So it's really, do we think him and Bam can be this like truly, truly crazy interior defensive duo?
You that big? I'm not even thinking about the defense. If you're that big and you can shoot, you have immense value in the league. And you can also finish like how we can too.
Yeah.
Lob threat, yeah, you're valuable.
I can easily see us looking up and the shooting like never really taking a step, and he's always like a theoretical great shooter.
Oh.
I can easily see that happening. Just because like there's like flashes where you're like, yo, he's changing the game. The next stretch 5, he's Wemby-esque. And then just like it's always like 33% on like iffy volume. But to me, that's why to me it's about his defense. Do we feel like the opportunity's there next to Bam? And I can see it, but it's not a guarantee.
I think it's a good. He'll be in like a great infrastructure, but will the infrastructure like be concealing his flaws as a defender? I don't know.
you can put him on here, but you got to put the asterisk above where it's like it's our flyer.
Our flyer, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a picture of him pulled up.
Okay.
Oops.
Yeah, I think he definitely could definitely fit this mold. But also, if he's not and he's just like one of those regular dudes in the league, then I won't be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we won't put him on here then, but just know Khalil Ware is our first cut.
Yeah. Okay, I have another flyer.
All right, last one.
Julian Strother.
Nah.
Damn.
That-
Julian, I
again,
tried to go to Xavier.
Once again, that is a player that could be a rotation player, but I'm not giving him nothing about him screams elite. I was like, you love these guys who had a couple big playoff moments. That's what I'm noticing. These couple of playoff shooting hot stretches. You're like elite role player next year.
Julian Strother should have been playing more throughout the year, but I mean,
In 2023, he would have been Grant Williams, elite role player on the way.
hell nah.
Yeah, that
Hell
one
nah.
moment in the game 7.
Hell no. I've been, when it comes to Terrence Shannon Jr., I've been on him
No,
since
you
he
have.
was in college.
Yeah, I remember you saw him in person. You're like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember that. Okay. Okay. So this could be our 6 elite role players. 48 minutes in. This is naturally going to be the biggest category. Obviously, the most time. So it makes sense. Let's get on to All-Star Leap. Who are players that are good right now, are not currently All-Stars, weren't All-Stars last year, but we're confident in them being there this year.
I got one. Kobe White.
Oh,
Kobe White and All-Star.
I kind of feel like if the All-Star Leap was going to happen, it would have already happened. Kobe White.
Okay, so I think like his scoring is very, very legitimate. And there's a reason also why I think like All-Star Leap could be happening. And it's because Tyler Hero is gonna miss time. Somebody has to fill that role of like, hey, I just come out here and I get buckets. And I think in a
Did
week.
he cut his hair again?
Huh?
He cut his hair?
No.
What did you
I
just
thought
say?
you said, hey, I cut my hair and I get buckets.
No, I come out here.
Oh, okay.
What does Tyler Hero got to do with it though?
Because Tyler Hero's out because he got hurt.
So you're saying the All-Star voters are going to go for somebody in that mold, no matter
yeah,
what?
yeah. Somebody's going to be a bucket getting All-Star.
Okay.
And
The East is depleted.
And
Yeah.
like we're already gonna be without Tatum. We're gonna be without Halliburton. We're gonna be without Hero. 3 spots have opened up already. Kobe White has also just shown improvement as a scorer, and
Yeah.
so I think that for him and for the Bulls, like you can look at him and he can average 21, 22 a night, and it could look pretty solid. Like I do think that Kobe White pretty regularly is taking steps forward, taking improvements. And so that's going to be good enough to where I think that he gets an All-Star now.
Okay.
I
But
think
when
he
you
can be
say
an
that,
All-Star.
do you realize that also must mean that the Bulls are going to be a decent team? Not like 10 seed, not 9 seed. They're probably got to be like an 8 seed.
That's what they always are. They always are an 8 seed or a 9 seed.
They got to be 8 seed though.
That's like that's
cannot be
what
9
they
seed.
live for, right? That's what they live for. I think that like the path is 100% there for Kobe White, and so I don't feel bad saying that he's going to continue to get better. He also plays a lot.
Yeah.
He's played 74 games last year, 79 games the year before, 74 games the year prior. He's always there. He continues to grow. He continues to get better.
I just don't think they're gonna have like the team success. And I love Kobe White. I think he's a great player. A lot of teams would like, a lot of people would like to have him on their team. But I think when it comes to thinking about someone who's gonna take Tyler Hero's spot, that dude's already on his team. And I think that belongs to Norman Powell. He damn near was an all-star last year. They tried to go ahead and like force him into those conversations. The shooting leap that he took, of course, like the playoffs are the playoffs, whatever. But in the desolate Eastern Conference, who does not have, again, the Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, you're missing so many guys. Damian Lillard's not there as well. Like that guard position is wide the fuck open.
He's right
I
there.
think Norman Powell's going to for sure be an all-star.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I don't know if this is sacrilegious because I know we all like Kobe White and I like him too. Kind of a March basketball merchant. And I think we're several years in now of this second half of the year leap coming from Kobe White that never maintains in the first half of the next year. Last 20 games of last season, 26 points per game. First 54, 18 points per game. Last 20 games of last season, 65% true shooting. He was a demon. First 54 games, 58% true shooting, which is still good. He's always been efficient. Mm-hmm. But I think this whole like idea of like he's taking that volume leap happens every year the second half of the season, and it doesn't feel like a coincidence.
Okay, well, averaging 26 on 65% true shooting, that's like all NBA, right? So like, yeah. I'm not saying he has to be that.
But that's what he did a couple years ago too. Remember when he was making that jump and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Yes, and he got better though, like the year after, like, and so that's my entire point is that I'm not saying that he's going to come out here and be one of the 15 best players in the league or be one of like the 6 best guards in the entire league. However, I do think that regardless of how high the highs are, this isn't a Jalen Green situation where we get like 50, where we get 15 games in March and it's like, oh no, this guy can actually like hold the franchise down, and then we get to the next year and it's just not there. Kobe White shows that, and you're like, the people who are very high on Kobe White, it's like, okay, like the leap is actually here. And in reality, he's not going to take 2 steps back. He'll maybe just take like 1 step forward and that's it. Like it's a very small step, but I don't look at him, and I really don't look at those March stats as an indicator that like Kobe White is going to be, again, some all NBA player. He's just a really, really good player. And so I think that getting him into this next stage as he takes very incremental steps, I think that that's possible.
Yeah, I just don't think the 18-4 he's going to average the first 3 months is going to like get him into the All-Star game.
Yeah,
he might get there.
The East is bad. He can get there, right? Yeah. I'm not ruling it out. With to say the East, I can't rule anybody out. And Kobe White, I can't rule out a leap from Kobe White either. Like it's possible. I'm not confident enough, and I don't think just because I just feel like we've seen this pattern too many times.
Yeah, I feel more safe,
which is very surface level, I know, but like I just don't feel like I've been inspired by the first half of Kobe White's seasons.
If he comes out and he averages 20 and 5 in the first half of the year,
I don't know if that's good enough for an All-Star these days. 20 and 5, I don't know if that's good enough. But if he did do that, I won't be shocked. Because it's not that different from 18 and 5.
If the Bulls are actually making noise, which is like you are an 8th seed,
they are going
then
to
you're
be
not
the
making
8th
the
seed.
All-Star.
They're going to be the 8th seed.
Then they're not getting an All-Star. They're 20 and 5 All-Star. They're not getting it if they're the 8th seed.
You're not. Yeah, you're just not doing that.
But I think for Kobe White, the argument would have to be like circumstantial like that.
Yeah.
Personally, because I just don't feel like I'm expecting that level of leap. Okay. But I do think he's a elite role player. He's just already there. So
for sure.
Put him on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we feel like Chet and Jalen Johnson are locks for this tier?
Jalen Johnson for sure. I think Chet should be there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because those guys that were clearly All-Star caliber last year. Actually, I don't know if I'll say that for Jalen Johnson. He was clearly in the conversation last year and then got hurt and ruled himself out. Maybe Pascal Siakam still would have got it over him. But when we talk about the East being depleted, if he stays healthy, and assuming the Hawks are the top 5 seed we think they can be with how deep they are now, I'd be kind of shocked that Jalen Johnson isn't the second All-Star on the Hawks.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think it's...
I know you agree. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's an easy conversation. Real easy conversation, for sure.
And is there any pushback on Chet Holmgren? This is the tier for him, right? Because he didn't make the All-Star team last year, and I know we treat him like he is All-Star already, All-Star caliber. There was, 10 games where he was All-Star caliber, and I know it's because of the injury, but it's not like he was performing at that level when he came back because of the injury. Yeah. Do we feel like it's fair to say he'll have that this year, and this is the tier he belongs in?
Yeah.
Like we can't put him in superstar talk.
There's no real reason why we shouldn't put him on.
I mean, a guy like me might.
Yeah, I said that because I knew Donovan was thinking about superstar. Yeah, that's why I was like, should we slow down a little bit?
No, I actually didn't even have Chet on like my overall list just because I feel like we were already so high on him, and so like when we were doing our rankings in like the in December, I think we had him in the top 30, and I think you and I had him in the top 20. So having him take some leap from like All-Star to superstar is like we already
Same
think
thing.
of you in that caliber. So I didn't have him on my list.
Yeah, I just figured we might as well throw him on there because he hasn't been an all-star yet. But yeah, it's pretty much a given for us.
Yeah.
Do you agree with my normal pal sentiment too?
I think that he could be an all-star for the reasons you said, circumstantial. I don't really want to treat this as like predicting the guys who technically are all-stars, even though we don't feel like Norman Powell is any better. Like it says all-star leap. I don't think he's making a leap. And I do think like for Chet, we think he's already there. We think he's there, but like he does still have some offensive leap in him that I think even if we do think he's already all-star caliber, he can be like all-star caliber.
Okay.
Maybe he's not breaking the superstar yet because that's an exclusive group, but I do think he'll get meaningfully better offensively for full season.
Yeah.
I think Norm is Norm.
Okay, leap is a good key word to key in here.
Right now.
I agree with that.
Let's make a bet. Kobe White versus Norman Powell on who to make the All-Star team.
100%. I think
Norm
it's gonna
Powell.
be Norman Powell.
Norman Powell easily.
They wanted to make him an all-star
Norman
last year.
Powell easily.
Yeah.
But also, I just think Tyler Hero's not going to miss that many games, so it'll probably still be Tyler Hero.
Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Then.
That's a nasty bet.
That is a disgusting bet. You're out of your mind. You
Come on,
degenerate.
Come on now.
I get some odds. Like, listen,
Did we end up betting on the Chargers Raiders thing? What was the?
I can't remember.
Chargers rate.
Oh, I think it was like the helmet. So somebody had to
yeah.
wear like a helmet or something.
Yeah, get ready, buddy. But okay, I don't want to do that again for Norm Powell. Is what I'm saying. Okay, so obviously Jalen Johnson and Chet are
That old
easy.
line gonna put you in a helmet.
Different show. Franz Wagner.
And go check that out. Go check out House.
Go check out House Call. Forgot to tell you up front. Fuck. Franz Wagner. Do we feel like that's another easy lock? Do we feel like if he's healthy for a full season, or at least doesn't have a gigantic oblique injury, do we feel like we'll once again see him put up the numbers he put up when Paolo was out and be all-star caliber?
Sometimes I feel like I can say this guy's going to take a leap, and then that year goes bad, and then I say, yeah, I'm out on this guy, and then he takes kind of a leap. I'm kind of scared that that's going to happen with Franz because I am extremely over the top nervous about the shot.
I know
because
you are.
If the shot isn't here, I don't know if we get like that all-star leap that we are asking for.
If he's healthy, I think he's just gonna walk into it.
Okay, but there's two
leap,
big
yeah.
things that I'm wondering with All-Star Leap, which is, and I've have felt like these were like locks going to happen, so I've talked about it pretty like certainly, but coming into this year, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. Which is one, like obviously the shooting. Two, can we actually get 35 games of him and Paolo doing it at the same time?
I'm playing well at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. So like, can you get that happening at the same time on top of, hey, now we have this other guy in Desmond Bane who also has to be involved in everything. There's a lot of moving pieces, and it hasn't felt like we've gotten a month of Suggs, Paolo, and Franz playing peak basketball at the same time. And so I'm kind of nervous that like, what if this experiment is just fundamentally flawed and they just can't do it together, and you're just never going to get that version of Franz because you already know that Paolo's going to be the one that's prioritized.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that I'm worried about that I actually feel are very, very like fundamental to how we're looking at this.
Yeah, one thing about you, whenever you believe in someone who lets you down, you want them to die the next year. You're fully out.
and I don't want Franz to die.
Glad we know you don't want Franz to die. But yeah, you go the other way very harshly, and you're like, fool me once, shame on you. I'm not gonna get fooled again.
Yeah.
So I get it. I just think that I'm still incredibly high on Franz. Even if for everything you're saying, it doesn't work out in the Magic and they got to blow it up one day, won't change my opinion of Franz. It'll change my opinion of the fit. I do still think that if he doesn't get hurt and carries momentum for a full season, even if it's an imperfect fit, I do still think he'll clearly be an all-star caliber player.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
That's to me, that's never going to be the question of is Franz all-star caliber. That to me will be abundantly clear. It'll just be, do these two all-stars fit together? Do they have the necessary supporting cast? Can they mesh together? All these things. That's like a different conversation that isn't mutually exclusive to me.
Yeah, because and that leap that he took, that's more like all NBA level. The level that he was
How he played
playing
when
at.
Paolo was gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 25, 5-5, like legit playmaker, great slasher, was efficient. The three-point shot wasn't even there that hard. It was there a little bit better, but it didn't even matter because he was so good with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, so like if you're like a tier below that and you're still being like a good defender, All-Star is definitely on the table. I just right now, like I'm looking at Franz, and it's also weird because like I've thought of him like as like the super, like I don't know, all-star kind of guy, already. And so like if he takes a leap, it would be to get back to what he was doing whenever Paolo was out. And that's more of like this all-star turned superstar type of leap rather than just, I'm actually an all-star.
Well, I think
I
want to treat superstar as like a way higher tier than that. Like superstar is like essentially a top 10 player. I think is what we're going to treat that as. And even then, even without that, doing it for a whole year consistently is a leap. You know, like everybody, tons of players have flashes. I just talk about Kobe White having March and April where he's a goon. If you did that for 3 months, it's a different thing, you know?
2 flashes.
Yeah. So maybe that's just
2
a flash.
flashes equals 1 leap. So
Okay.
Sure,
That's the math we're doing.
We're
Cool.
getting calculus in here. But I think doing it for a whole year and doing it with Franz is a leap. Even if doing it with Paolo is a leap, even if we've seen that before.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it with Paolo, otherwise we'd be having entirely different conversations.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Who is the next person you guys want to nominate?
You got a name? I got a name.
Go.
Let it rip.
Okay. Someone who probably is a popular pick, or at least should be, is Andrew Nemhard.
I thought about that too. That's like a very cute pick because of opportunity. Do we feel like he can get past elite role player, or is he going to graduate to like Derek White tier of like elite role player he could be an all-star in any given year, but he's still an elite role player?
Yeah, I think it's probably towards the latter half of what you just said.
Worth mentioning though.
Yeah, simply because, okay, like now we all know you have abilities. People's known that for like the last 2 years, especially with him. Can you just show it on a consistent level? And I think now that he has the opportunity to, and going back to like confidence within himself too, you have those abilities when it comes to being the driving force of offense, one of the bucket getters on the offense. Can I trust you as a point guard? I think you have a great system in place that will help like cover those warts that you have a part of your game. And I feel like a leap in terms of just usage also is just coming.
Yeah. That's a popular thing, right? Is the usage going to come up and he can have a Jalen Brunson arc where like even if it's only for a year, that he is, if you expand his role, he can keep the same efficiency, be a better playmaker with more responsibility, more rhythm, and like have an all-star caliber season. He definitely could. If you do tell me it's February and he's in the all-star game because the team is like somehow still a 5 seed off of him and Siakam and they're both all-stars,
Yeah.
I won't be shocked. But I also won't be shocked if he's just Nemhard again. And there's like that wish casting. We're going to find the next Jalen Brunson, and the next Jalen Brunson doesn't exist. And he's just, like, once again, one of the best role players you could have, uniquely skilled of being an on-ball defender while also being your best playmaker and a good shooter, like, but also still being consistent as a shooter in the regular season like he always has been. Like, that's also possible to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not putting him on the list.
Why you don't want him on the list?
No, I think, and it's okay. So this is the wrong word because it sounds harsh, but like he is tricking people right now. In terms
of consistency,
in terms of consistency, and just who he like actually is. You look at his playoff numbers.
It's dumb. It's such a
in
disparity.
the 2 years that they've been in the playoffs, 48% from three,
crazy,
46% from three this past season. In the regular season, the 3 years that he's been in the league, 35, 35.7, 29% last year. So like he is the ultimate. I'm gonna sit up and like actually play, and I'm a 16 game player and do all of this stuff. If you are actually like the point guard and running everything, I'm not sure that a guy who already isn't this amazing shooter who already isn't this amazing shooter getting these shots off of playing behind Tyrese or playing with Tyrese and with Pascal. Now that a majority of your shots are like probably going to be off the dribble threes, you're not going to get these spot up stuff. Do I actually think that you're going to jump higher from like 29 to 30? No, I don't really think so.
Yeah.
So like he's gonna be fine. Like I think he'll be okay. And especially as the year goes on and he gets more time being like the point guard is gonna be fine. But the gap between playoff shooting Nemhard and regular season Nemhard is too big for me to get there.
Yeah, it's also because it's such a big reliance on the pull-up three hitting. And like he has the mechanics for when he gets in rhythm off that step back, his pull-up three, like you can see why it's so consistent. But catch and shoot three, he's just never been exceptional. And that's what you have to be consistent. In the regular season last year, 32.2% on catch and shoot threes to a game. Keep in mind, bench player. Pull-up threes, 26.8% on 0.7 a game. And if I switch it over to playoffs, he is at, now it's gone.
Yeah.
But it will be obviously much higher on the catch and shoot threes. I don't think the pull-up, my bad. Much higher on the pull-up threes. I don't think the catch and shoot threes have ever been consistent enough that we feel like that floor is going to be there unless we just see an unforeseen jump, which always could happen, but it's not really predictable.
And unless he is going to just pull out the crazy, 2K dribble package every single play and he sees Shea and he's like, okay, like I have to lock in because we're in the NBA finals. Unless that's going to happen a majority of the time, I don't think that leap is going to happen. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. How do we feel about?
And for that reason, I'm out.
I agree. It could happen. I won't be shocked, but I'm not gonna assume.
Yeah.
Amen Thompson. How do we feel about that? Given how good we think he is, how much of a insane role player he already is, and how much untapped potential we feel is there with the jump shot development, with the even without the jump shot development, the on-ball chops, and how he can lean more into being a lead playmaker in a way that he'll have to without Fred VanVleet to some extent, will also continue to be truly first-team All-NBA defense, which provides a lot of value. Do we feel like All-Stars in the realm of possibility as a third All-Star on that team if they're like the 2 seed? Or no, let's not even get into will he make it because that 3 is hard. Let's just get into will he be good enough that you could say he's just as good, if not better than Sengun.
He might be. Like you said, the opportunity is 100% going to be there for him. I just need to see. We need to see the handle get tighter. We need to see you actually be able to be like a point guard, right? And doing all this stuff, because if it's not, if the handle isn't super crisp and you aren't an actual point guard and you can't fill these shoes, now we're getting into territory where, and it's probably already going to happen, but even more territory of, all right, Reed Shepherd, you run the offense. KD, you run the offense. Yep. Let's see if we could run some high post stuff with Sengun, and the offense then becomes a lot more equal across the board. And if that's the case, then Amen Thompson, still amazing player. He then just stays in elite role player.
I've been grappling with this a lot. Like, I was so, like, as soon as he got drafted, Amen was my guy, and I've been hyping up the whole time. This will be an all-star. I've been proclaiming it since draft night. I guarantee he'll be an all-star. And now I'm like, are we getting a little too nerdy with the glaze too fast? In terms of, like, assuming he'll just continue to make level ups? I'm like, are y'all making me have to, like,
this is exactly
back?
what you did with Scotty Barnes. You see a player you love, you go ahead and you go balls to the fucking wall.
No, that was different. I didn't even love Scotty Barnes. I was just respecting that run he had. I never loved him beforehand. He just had a crazy start to the season. I was like, I respect it. I've always loved him since the draft. Scotty, I didn't give a shit about in the draft. So it's different. It's like, I'm
Scotty above Brunson. I'll never forget it.
I'm more inclined.
You love that man.
I did not. I just can't. I just respected that first half. But I do, like, I'm more inclined to push a man in conversations forever. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, where's the line between him being the best role player in the league and being like Andre Iguodala versus making an all-star like Andre Iguodala did? You know, like,
is your 3-pointer going to be stuck at? And for what it's worth, he made a jump from good Lord, good Lord, rookie season. My brother shot 13.8% from 3.
Nice.
And then shot 27.5.
I'm looking at
that's a big lead.
Doubled it.
Yeah, that's a big lead.
I'm looking at cleaning the glass, which filters out garbage time and heaves. 16 to 29%. We're up a little bit.
Yeah, so he, like, there obviously is improvement there. If we can get that to 34%.
That's high.
I know it's big.
Yeah.
I know that is
32%.
He shot 36% on corner threes, 55 attempts last year, which I think is good enough. I'm assuming the 3-point shot is never going to develop in the way that, like, if the 3 comes along, he'll be unstoppable. Duh. Any non-shooter that becomes a shooter will be unstoppable. That's how it goes when your biggest strength becomes, your biggest weakness becomes a strength. I'm throwing it out the door. If that happens, fantastic. I do feel like the handle can improve. That's much more... It's the easier thing to assume than a 3-point shot going from a 0 to passable.
Just watching Kyrie highlights all summer. Yeah.
Like players tighten their handles happens all the time. Every player ever tightens their handle over time besides Jaylen Brown. So I do believe that'll happen. Is that going to be enough with the way teams will defend him? Like, will he have that Ben Simmons trait that he can be an on-ball creator slashing without a 3-point shot being respectable? I don't know. Will the mid-range shot develop to be a counter? Maybe. We saw him hit a game-winning mid-range shot last year. Like, the touch is there a little bit more than it is from 3. And even if it doesn't, if say none of this happens, like I said earlier, can he be such a super role player and such an important good team contributing to winning that it still makes him all-star level in a unique way, like a Draymond Green?
Yes.
That's why you're making him
that last part
all-star.
Is the best argument.
Yeah. Because I think even if we never get the shooting, we can still get improvements from everywhere else to where he can still have that level of impact. And
okay, so you're expecting him to be like a generational defender.
He already is, I think, on that path. So was Asar.
There was a point last year where, like, I was grappling with, like, can I realistically make the argument for him to be DPOY? And like that's the level of defender that he's at right now.
Okay. I think Draymond's probably the best way to think about it, or like Gobert. Like, they're all stars off of defense. Amen is obviously not a big man, so we can't have that level of impact. But he has way more offensive utility than those guys. Well, actually, let me not say that about Draymond in his prime. But you know what I mean? Like, he could be a two-way guy that has similar benefit reputation-wise from his defense and his all-star caliber. I mean, in his all-star arguments. That's like the safest reason to argue it. And then we get into there's also the possibility that the other skills develop that we're not giving him assumptions for could still happen. There's like enough arguments that stack up to me that it's not crazy to say he could be an all-star this year.
Yeah, even without a 3-point shot, he averaged 14 points last year.
Yeah.
If that goes up to like 16 and we're still getting DPOY level defense.
Yeah, that's a Draymond level
and he's
literally.
on the floor for like instead of like 35 minutes instead of 32. Like all those like small little things, all of that is gonna add up to a point where you look at him and say, and like every nerd is still gonna look at him and say like, okay, this is gonna be one of like the 5 best players in the world. But then there's gonna be a baseline level of impact where in the moment you do have to say this is one of the best amplifiers. If the baseline that we said at the beginning of this, Aaron Gordon, there's no doubt in my mind that he can be an Aaron Gordon level impact player.
We're in the next tier now, though. We're in all-star tier now, so Aaron Gordon's left behind.
True. Who's the line?
Being all-star caliber, whatever that means. Would you vote for him on your all-star team?
Yeah,
Who's like the
who's a big
your
all-star?
Jaren
Jaren Jackson Jr.
reserves, basically. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jaren Jackson is like a baseline all-star, I think.
Jaren Jackson Jr. That's
I didn't want to. Jaren's good.
No, but he could be like
that's achievable. That's achievable.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. We're putting him in Thompson. We're being nerds. We're going down. I remember when we did our rankings thing and we did our most valuable players list when we had Carson on, I kept saying, wow, Carson was doing all the nerd shit that I want to do, but I help restraint. And I saw a lot of comments were like, stop showing restraint. Be the nerd. We want to hear your list. Fuck it. I think Amen Thompson's going to be an all-star. I'm standing on it. We're putting him on.
okay.
No more trying to soften the nerdum. This is the Amen Thompson believer show. Do we feel like there's any argument? But this is 4 new all-stars, assuming health. Obviously, one of these guys will probably get hurt. But 4 new all-stars, I think it's like, that's typical, I think, these days. Is there any argument for a 5th guy that you guys want to throw out there?
Nah, not
no,
really.
I feel like it's really hard to get into this tier.
It is hard.
Yeah.
I really once not just like, what if Jared McCain is just like that guy? I'm not gonna put him on here, but like worth mentioning that we did see a crazy level as a rookie
All-star?
for those games. If you tell me that he's on that trajectory and like, oh, he's just as good as Tyrese Maxey, these are the 2 best players here, when Joel Embiid isn't there, it's possible. I'm not going to argue for him to be here, but I thought it was worth throwing his name out there as a possibility.
No, I'm not going to argue if this guy should be here as well, but I think Peyton Pritchard, for all those same exact reasons, it's a possible
That's a Norm Powell reason there, where it's like someone's got to shoot the ball. They might put him in there because there's no bodies.
Yeah.
I also thought about that, but I was like, I'm not going to say Peyton Pritchard's going to be as good as these guys.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's completely different stratosphere.
But that is a good. Him and Norm Powell could actually be all stars. I just don't care in terms of like, if for this conversation, like, great, good for them. That'd be nice. It'd be cool. Not gonna be someone I'm like year by year. I'm building my team around this as an all-star production guy.
No. No one's ever gonna, or no one should be able to say that, or should want to say that about those guys.
Yeah, those would be like Goran Dragic type of all-star seasons where it's like, salute, good player for a long time. Glad to see him get one.
Yeah.
Like Mike Conley when he got one for sympathy and the Jazz.
That was crazy.
Okay, that's our 4 all-star elite players. Kind of chalk, but it is what it is. Who do you think who's a dark horse? If there's one that we don't see coming, Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin. Who are we taking? There's one that nobody sees coming that completely shocks everybody.
No one sees coming.
Let me pull up NBA teams. Look at logos. Austin
Benedict
Reeves.
Mathurin could. I think Benedict Mathurin is there, but I've officially like sold my stock on him.
Yeah, I don't think he's good enough, but it's possible. Austin Reeves, I guess. Jaden Ivey, I guess. Maybe Modest Mouzellus is already on there if he is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Jared McCain, I think, is a solid pick. Looking up and down, I mean, I don't know. Grady Dick, do you think he's good?
Nah, it's an all-star elite.
No, I don't know. We're talking about people we don't see coming at all. So these guys that had to have like out of nowhere make gigantic improvements that like shock the world.
Like,
If I said Brandon Miller, would that be out of nowhere?
Number 2 pick,
he
so
could
it's not
be
out of
there.
nowhere. That could happen.
He could be there.
I'm not confident, but that could happen. Con Knipple, rookie season.
Jesus Christ. I think Brandon Miller is probably the strongest one. I'm not catching my chips on that, but it could happen. It probably should happen for the sake of the expectations that we had of him coming into the league.
Can I lob you with Jalen Green?
Absolutely not.
Damn. Austin Reeves could make an all-star team if they're good enough, like, just because like
if they're like
a break
2 seed, 3 seed, yeah, they could.
And they could be. That's possible, but yeah, I'm not going to pick it.
Yeah,
Austin Reeves could be there. Maybe you want to tell me Stephon Castle makes a 2nd-year leap and like shocks us, and the shot is there?
Christ, no, hell no.
The point is you're supposed to say hell no. That's why it'll be surprising. Who's the most possible hell no? If it wasn't hell no, I wouldn't be saying it right
possible. 0% chance.
now. No, there's a 1% chance.
No, 0% chance.
There is a 1% chance Stephon Castle becomes a good shooter and he's already a slasher and defender and like things come together. Again, I'm not saying a high percent. I'm not picking him. These are supposed to be hell no.
I know 1% is too high for me though.
Yeah, he's a decent hell no. Honestly, Jalen Duren's probably a good dark horse.
Mm-hmm. Hell no.
Yeah.
All right, man. Never mind. Just no more.
Zubac might be an all-star, but he's in the same vein as like Norman Powell, I guess now.
Yeah, he can make it. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our all-star leap. Let's talk about all-stars turned superstar. So players who have already made an all-star game. Yeah, had to have made at least one. Doesn't have to be last year, but already in that caliber. Because, like, Scotty Barnes could be there, even though he already wasn't an all-star last year. Whoever you want, that's one time or more all-star. That turns into somebody that we could argue, realistically, could be a top 10 player. Or we could, top 12, whatever that number is to you.
First name, obviously, Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wrote Cade ? Is there...
He's like my number one pick for this.
I agree, but it's also a question mark. Is this us assuming linear progression, or what do you see in Cade's game that you think will make a big, meaningfully jump this year in terms of a standout skill that'll make him? Because last year he was probably like a top 17 player in the world. Mm-hmm. What does he have to do to get to top 10? Like, what has to improve?
Obviously, like the rim finishing has to get there a little bit more. And just overall, the thing is just linear progression. It is just overall more efficient.
And linear progression does happen sometimes, so I'm not here to say it'll never happen.
Yeah, it is just more efficient. And I think that because he did it in like the first year that the Pistons were in a very just base level competent situation, and we're like, oh wow, this is what we've been waiting for. Everyone who has held on their Cade Cunningham stock, this is 100% what we thought. Like, all right, perfect. This is what we wanted to see. But like the difference, and it might not happen because for his entire career, it's been at the rim 58%, 54, 56, 57. It's nothing crazy. If we get
it's bad.
Yeah. If we get somewhere a little bit higher, then we're starting to turn into a player that, okay, no, you can not only like run this team, you can run any team in the league and be the center of our offense in that way. Yeah.
So last year he became an all-star in part because of surroundings, but also he improved in some ways. The 3-point shot, especially the first half of the year, even deadlier than it's ever been in terms of off the dribble threes at that high volume. It ended for the season 37%, just like the year prior. But there was a meaningful gap, I think, in the eye test and seeing the confidence in which he was pulling these threes and using it as a weapon. And then the main thing, mid-range scoring, was just incredible. His ability to be like a post scorer in this floater range area and use his strength and frame to make up for the lack of burst he has and be able to finish in between to kind of supplement the lack of off the dribble driving attempts at the rim. That was meaningful. That was the biggest source of his point per game jump, I think. And then obviously the passing came along with the better finishers around him and the better scoring to use that threat to be a high level passer. He's legit an elite passer now, I think. He's not like Trae Young, Luka level, but he's right below that. Whoever else you want to put there, he's in the next tier, I think.
Yeah.
It would have to be off the dribble attempts at the rim, being able to create off of a live dribble without stopping and going to the post. That'll make him more dynamic. It'll make him more dynamic as a passer. It'll make him more reliable as a scorer. We do have to talk about the playoff stuff. That's kind of a leap that he has to make to be able to be a top 10 player is get that game off the in-between game with double teams coming at you, with people attacking your loose-ish handle that still is an elite. That was a huge issue in the playoffs. Do we feel like all that, you have any reason to believe it'll get better other than hoping?
Yeah, I think there's sizable belief in that. I think his job in life will be so much easier, and that'll allow him to get to certain spots much more. I think Jalen Duren's going to be even more empowered than he was last year. And Jaden Ivey's coming back, so he'll just naturally be in a lot less stressful situations and with more offensive threats. He should have more abilities to shoot a little bit more efficiently in the paint. So I think that's a pretty reasonable take.
Yeah, it's just tough because I think he'll always be limited by the fact that his handle isn't the tightest and he's not particularly quick, and that lack of quickness really hurts him getting to these, like I said, driving shots off of a live dribble. And I don't think he'll ever just get quick, It would have to be, do we think he gets really crafty and figures it out in the deceleration stuff, the body blocking stuff that Luka does?
Can he beat Luka? Exactly.
But Luka's the best ever at that for slow guards. That's what makes him generational. It's hard to be go watch Luka tape and do that. Not if everybody could do that, they would. It's incredible. That's a 1 percentile hard to replicate skill. Not to say it's impossible, but I just don't know if I have anything concrete that I think he's going to get better than last year, which was already amazing last year. I'm still saying he could be the 17th best player, but cracking into superstar is like hard to do. And I don't know if I want to just assume he will, even though I do think it's possible.
How many players last year, in you guys' opinion, turned from like all-star to just like superstar level?
I guess if we're going to give it to Ant, but I think maybe that was the year prior. I can't remember the exact timeline of when he became top tier, top 10.
Yeah, I think
it's fair.
Yeah, with the 3-point shot. Yeah, Ant. Well, with the playoffs, Tyrese Halliburton. That's a weird circumstance, with the weird start to the season and then ended up doing good.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson came off that playoff run 2 years ago and then into this regular season, I think solidified himself as like 10th best player in the world.
Okay.
Wemby, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's also a weird circumstance where he's just like minute by minute God that doesn't play a lot, but obviously when he's on the court, he's insane.
Yeah. Okay. I think considering how all these guys made their leap, and yeah, we're just such a fucking outlier too.
Yeah.
But I think I feel confident that Cade will find somehow some way to go ahead and usher himself into the next level of NBA stardom, whether it be through his shooting, whether it be like, okay, like he goes ahead and continues to grow upon his post game and genuinely is like one of the 3 best post guard scorers in the entire league. That could get him into there as well. There's so many ways to do so. And I think that like he'll find his way there.
Okay. If you want to bet on linear progression, bet on the circumstance around him gets better and better, whether it's Jaden Ivey making a leap or they finally trade for a second star scorer, maybe he continues to have less of a burden on him. That makes him more efficient. It makes his passing shine more. He's already good defensively. If he can maintain that with another scorer coming in the door, I'm not against it. I just think we should really we should have a good argument,
Yeah. I mean,
this
is the hardest argument to make right here.
The argument just could be time he gets better. That's fine.
It's all, it's like, you just look at him, he's like, man, this guy's tough. Like,
that's the argument.
He's just like that.
You're
like,
tough.
there were so many moments where like you watch Cade on a nightly basis and he's just doing everything. And he's doing like the superstar things. Obviously, he's not at that level, at a top 10 player level yet. But now that he's shown us that he has that within him, okay, now instead of doing it once every 7 games, do it once every 5 games or some small improvement like that. And I think that he's definitely given us enough to where we can look at that and put that expectation on him.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I love Kate Cunningham, so I won't argue him to be against it. Just had to voice the reason. Next name, obviously, that has to be in a similar conversation. Another number 1 pick. Is it time for Paolo Banchero to finally become the Paolo Banchero that he's thought to be and not who he really is?
It's time. Now,
will he show up on time?
He's due, but are we confident this will finally happen this year? A similar thing I brought up with Cade. We know that time suggests leap. Do we feel like we're confident with what he's shown us in terms of his flaws and how he's improved him over time, that this will be the year where he's a top 10 player?
Okay, so top 10 is tough.
Yeah, we're talking about high bar. We're talking about very high bar to be a superstar.
Yeah, top
some people
10.
Some people say there's only 7 superstars in the league, something like that.
In order for him to go ahead and achieve those things, I think he's already an all-star. He's going to probably be an all-star for, I don't know, the next 7 years or whatever. He's just easily going to be rolled into that. But there's some things in his game that need to be genuinely developed, and there's just like holes in which it hinders his ability to make everyone's life easier on the court. So I think either A, like he can obviously like shoot the ball more consistently, more like just better in general. But I think what will help him usher into that is passing.
Yep.
And naturally, if there's more space on the floor, he should be ushered into that. But that's not like the only thing too. I think shot selection too will also like help alleviate that. And when it comes to just like talking about brain and like will he ever like develop in that sense or just like be more mature, play more of I'm not saying he plays a losing style of basketball, but just play more advanced style of basketball.
Yeah.
That's so much harder to gauge.
Yeah, obviously I've been the Paolo Banchero hater for a few years, and I'm kind of in like, I do believe he'll fix these things. I'm not confident when. Like we haven't seen him get there at all. Like we've seen some improvements in the rim finishing. Second half of last year, he became a free throw merchant in the best way. He learned how to utilize his strength and size and get to the rim because he's way bigger and stronger than everybody in front of him. That was legit development. He became better at throwing his body around and getting to the rim and giving himself like a scoring floor that he didn't have before. So when the shot wasn't falling, when teams were blitzing his handle and he couldn't get to the rim, it kind of became just chucking up terrible shots, right? The free throws did help him build that floor that I think we saw in the playoffs. We saw in the last 15 to 20 games of the season. And the 3-point shot. was pretty good. Last 20 games last year, he shot 35% from three. The first 31%. Granted, he's come back from injury. Maybe that contributed to that. So if he's going to be a very good shooter and he's going to be a great free throw drawer, that's a good baseline. That's higher than where he was before. It's just the mid-range like shot selection or like shot desire and how much he wants to balance that with getting to the rim. That's always going to be the question. I have no reason to believe that'll get fixed overnight. I kind of just have to see it to believe it.
So I have...
And defense. Defense is a whole other question.
Yeah. I think that... Okay, so on one hand, I believe in Paolo, and I think that he can do all of these things. Mm-hmm. And I think that if we say that this is the year that he's going to do it, because even if you say, oh, I don't know when, if we all believe that it's going to happen, let's just say this year, like, and we can just say that. So there's that side of it where we can't say we've seen a little bit of progression. The other half of it is like, and you touched on this a while ago when we were talking about the Magic. It's like, yo, Jamal Mosley, like, what are you doing? And I think that, like, having that offense and having somebody in charge that would just say, yo, speed up.
Yeah.
Like, you just play so slow, and having Jamal Mosley at the helm, and if he's just going to let Paolo take 16, 17 seconds anytime that he wants to and not tell him, like, yo, you just have to go. Like, I really don't care what decision you make. I just need you to make it in under 2 seconds. If that's not going to change, then this might not be the year for that. And
I don't feel like we've seen... So here's the thing. Everything we're talking about can happen and probably will happen eventually, but we haven't seen any real indicator.
Yeah, and you know what? Coinciding both of those things, too, that thought process, all of this also means to me is like, I don't know if you have the right coach in place, the right play style in place to just let these consistent bad habits just fall into each other. Like, when it comes to pace and speed of how your team plays, that's 110% like on the coach as well. When it comes to the type of like things that you instill into your team and how fast you want to get the ball up, how quickly you want to get into your sets and all, that's 110% like the coach. Of course, naturally, like, I think he likes to play like that too. That's what he probably prefers. Yeah. But more so, I think I'm waiting for like a organizational structure rather than like you. I know you have it in you because there's bursts of it, but it's never consistent.
The problem is too, I feel like he has 2 leaps to go. Like, I think he has to make the leap to being like, I'm gonna keep using the number
of like where Cade was last year.
Yeah, like I don't think right now he's one of, at least for the entirety of last year, keeping in mind he got hurt and that hurt him for however many games. I don't think he was a top 20 player last year.
I think it was top 30, 100%, but I'm not saying top 20.
Yeah.
I might not say top 25.
If you want to argue he's like 18, 19 on your list, whatever, that's not crazy. I'm not going to slander it and be like, he's 42 or anything outlandish. But he wasn't like a sure thing, night in, night out, top 20 player that I'm that comfortable around. So I do still feel like he can make a leap this year and get marginally better at these things. And we can say, okay, that's the 15th best player in the league. He's right behind the guys that we think are top tier. And then we have another leap coming next year when they hire a new coach, whatever it may be. And then he becomes the superstar we thought he can be. Like, I think there's levels he can level up. So, like, I guess what I'm saying is he can both get better at all these things and still not be a superstar yet. And it's just tough because, like, with Cade, I'm fine with us betting on the progression because we saw it last year. We really are still coasting off theory with Paolo. And it's like, it's a good, reasonable theory to bet on given the insane physical skills he has. But we got to see the spark be laid before we assume it takes off.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and then there's the fit of it all. The spacing is still not going to be amazing. It should be better with Desmond Bane, which is what probably people are screaming in the comments. Talk about the spacing. Mm-hmm. They're still not going to be an amazing shooting team, I don't think, unless Franz Wagner makes a shooting leap. Then all bets are off. Everything changes. But Suggs, Bane, Wendell Carter, around those two, isn't like, oh, things are easy for Paolo now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like, I obviously, like, if Paolo makes the leap, this team is obviously going to be much better. And we're going to find out pretty soon, honestly, if they're going to make the leap.
Mm-hmm.
They were 27th in offensive rating last year.
Again, with a lot of those games without the one or both these guys.
Fair. 27 is still ridiculous.
Yeah, I bet if you look at the last 30 games or whatever it was, it still was probably like 25.
Yeah, and this is like as old school and as like surface level. But like, if you are a top 20 player and you are like an offensive minded guy in a regular season context, 27, 25, like, that's just unacceptable, right? Like, there is a certain level of floor raising that you do have to do as an offensive engine to be considered as one of those guys.
Yeah,
And
because
so-
he's not the playmaker.
Yeah.
And he's not like he's a good defender either. Like,
Yeah.
he's fine, but it's not like he's a plus defender to make up for that. So if you're an inefficient scorer, a good passer, but not high leverage playmaker that's opening up opportunities for others, and a average at best defender, what's the argument for you're better than like Evan Mobley or whoever's going to be the 11th best player in the world?
It's tough.
Yeah, sounds like we want to leave him off the list.
Yeah, if you guys were passionate, I wasn't going to be the hater that leaves him off. But if nobody
Mhm.
feels great about it, I'm okay saying let's watch him
It's just
go.
it's a lot of questions.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's a
too
lot of
much.
leaps to be made still. Like he can make progress without being a superstar.
Too many for me.
I mentioned Evan Mobley. Does Evan Mobley have an argument?
Oh, that's a good
hell
one.
yeah.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about Evan Mobley at all because in my mind, I already think he's a superstar in his own right.
Yeah, but he's not though. You think about it for real. Like, is
Yeah.
he going to be definitively better than Donovan Mitchell this year and be a guy that is one of the best defenders in the world and pushing 24 points per game, like another scoring leap, another level of aggression as they continue to prioritize playing through him?
I don't know.
24 is a lot of points for Evan Mobley. Like that means like you got to be.
Well, let me not focus on that too much because
Yeah.
team environment, there's two other good scorers there, but whatever that means. Like, what was he at last year? Like 18?
He was like at 19 or something like that.
So let's say it's 21 and the efficiency is better. Like, whatever the scoring leap is, let's say scoring leap happens. Actually, no, low-key, 23. Like, let's say he is like to be a superstar, yeah, fuck that. 23.5 points per game while being DPOY level. Is that possible this season? They've talked about in preseason. The coach has already said we need to prioritize playing through him more. I did a bad job in the playoffs at that.
Mhm.
Congratulations. This is also one thing that I've learned from the last like couple years. I don't give a damn what anybody says before Halloween. I, like it. Everything. Like everybody's going to say all the right things. Everybody's going to say, we have to empower X, Y, and Z. Once we like actually start playing regular season basketball, then I'll see if you're actually about it. Is it possible? 100%. I think that Evan Mobley defensively is, as good as you can get. Obviously, like the DPOY, as long as he stays healthy, the DPOY is going to be Wemby's,
Mhm.
and it's going to be like that. Offensively, we've kind of seen the power balance go the opposite way over the last like year and a half of D Mitch coming down just slightly and Evan Mobley, coming out on the other side. We always like to joke around, say that he's beaten the Derek Favors allegations.
Yeah.
And it's because he has genuinely added stuff to his game. He's taken more threes. He's been more aggressive going downhill, using his body to create space and get the shots that he wants.
I present to you the best argument for Evan Mobley making the superstar leap.
Talk
Is
to me.
he going to play without Jared Allen? Are they going to trade Jared Allen by the end of the season? if
That's
they
the
fail
biggest
again?
thing. Yeah.
No,
And I don't think they are.
I don't think so.
When he doesn't play again, this could happen. This is obviously very surface level. But when he plays without Jared Allen, 23.9 points per game, jumps from 61% true shooting to 64.4, 9.8 rebounds to 12 rebounds. If this was his stat line while still being the best rim protector in the league outside of Wemby, that would be a superstar. Now, this is probably muddied up by the fact that some of these lineups are bench lineups where he's the main scorer. So of course he has more points there when they stagger them. But I also don't think it's nothing. I think it's pretty clear that this big man, who's a very good aggressive rim finisher now, plays better when he's the only big on the floor and has more spacing. Maybe he makes the leap with Jared Allen there. I'm not saying you got to move Jared Allen. This is some fix all to make Evan Mobley Tim Duncan. But we do know that's underlying. That's been there when he's playing center.
Yeah, but we've also kind of had this idea since the first playoff exit. We were like, okay, well, like Jared Allen is, if anybody's going to go, it's going to be Jared Allen. And I just don't think that they're going to trade him. I think that this Cavs team has shown patience. Because the first offseason, it didn't work. Like I said, we had questions about, okay, is Jared Allen going to be on the move? The second year, it didn't work. And there were conversations about Darius Garland saying, I don't want to be here. And does D Mitch want to be here? And still the Cavs have stayed the course. And they're like, no, we want a very fair chance of all four of these guys playing. And now, even after this year, where a lot of teams would say we have to change something, the East is very bad. And the Cavs are going to be either the 1 or the 2 seed if everything goes right. There's not going to be a reason for them to trade Jared Allen.
Yeah.
So I think that like if this is the best argument, that I don't know if we can lean on this to say that he's going to take this like 24-point leap.
I would say it's the best argument. I just present this to say we know that this is possible. And currently last year, this production was possible with him being the only big man on the floor. And I say this to say maybe they figure out ways to get this production with another big man. Like the ability is already there. It's just like structurally, there was some looks they could access this, and some looks they couldn't. But that's not to say next year they can't figure out how to access it with both looks. So if we know this is possible with one circumstance, maybe it's possible with a new circumstance this year. That to me is a decent argument that it could happen.
It is.
How do
It
you
is.
feel?
It
on,
is.
on top of the linear progression stuff, and
Yeah.
them talking about simply putting the ball in his hands more.
If they're gonna do that, then I feel like there's a direct pathway for him to being legitimately like worldwide known, a top 10 player. He was already, I think last year, along with DPOY, of course, he was, I think, top 10 in MVP votes as well. So like the media thinks of him like that, but when it comes to like in the locker rooms or whatever, and how like even casual fans view him, will he get to that? I think he needs the numbers to do so. But numbers aside, I think he will feel like top 10-esque, top 10 worthy.
I won't
So
be
I feel
shocked at all.
okay with him being
This
turning the superstar heel.
This would be the one where if we're talking about players that come out of nowhere and make a development that shock us, and he shoots even better next year and is even more agile with the ball in his hands, and like, oh, this is Anthony Davis. Like, obviously that's a high bar. Anthony Davis is insanely talented, but like, this is 2023 Anthony Davis, and he already slowed down. If you tell me that happens next year, I won't be shocked even a little bit.
Yeah, I feel okay with putting him on his list.
Donovan-
Feels like a safe.
Donovan's grimacing.
It's tough because
Not
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, we never have an idea.
But like,
but I like the chances.
yeah, shit.
yeah, we'll put him on that.
Yeah, we generally don't have no idea.
Another quick one to mention.
Also, if you have a DPOY, like, all right, like you're kind of at a baseline level, and you're not like an absolute nothing on defense. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty rare that DPOYs are like this good offensively.
Yeah.
And then when they are, they're top 10 players in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Other names to mention. J-Dub. We saw the ESPN ranking. They ranked him at 11. And we didn't feel like that was Glaze. But I also feel like I'm obviously a 1 percentile J-Dub Glazer, so I want to hear y'all's opinion.
It's a little glaze.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
It's a little bit, right? Not completely honey dipped, but like just
Yeah, it's not like a felony glazing.
Sprinkled.
It's not a felony, but
Yeah.
it's on the high end.
Yeah.
I
can
kind of feel like
understand
he'll
it.
probably just be like a even better all-star. I don't feel like he's ever going to break into superstar territory.
I don't
That's
think so
hard.
either.
Chet's more
Yeah.
likely to break into superstar to me.
Yeah, superstar is just a hard bar to get to for him. I think it could be like possible, but I don't know if he could ever make that complete heel turn.
Yeah.
And I don't know even if like he doesn't even have to do that.
Yeah, it would be tough. It would be a
Like-
mix of circumstances making it difficult, and just like I don't ever think he'll be a top tier passer. He'd have to make a big scoring leap and do what he did in like the last game of the finals for an entire season. Which, again, if that happens, okay.
This is your team. Like,
If you're talking,
like, what do you mean?
if you're a fucking time traveler and you're looking back telling me J-Dub became a 25 point per game scorer, the Thunder won 75 games, I feel like bet it makes sense. That's fine.
And we just see him and it's like, okay, so you guys just have Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Then like,
yeah,
fine.
that's actually
Yeah.
very possible that is the case, but I'm not going to predict it.
Yeah, I'm cool off that. I'm definitely cool off that.
That's super possible though. Like that's
I'm not
super.
okay. I'm not gonna say it.
I think we could view him as like a top 17 player,
Oh yeah.
but that's just like not close enough to superstar. I think superstar is like top 13 range,
Yeah.
bare minimum.
I agree. Yeah, if that happens, they are the best team in the world by far, which they already are. But like they are like generational,
Yeah,
and who can predict that? We'll wait for that to happen.
yeah.
Last thing I wrote down is a question mark. Don't yell at me. We have to have the discussion. I'm not saying I'm gonna fight for it,
Oh,
Okay.
but it has to be discussion given the circumstances and the context around this guy and the changes that were made this summer. Zion Williamson. It has to be talked about.
Stop.
No, but like obviously there's no reliability there. I'm not gonna argue for it. But it has to be discussed that if you do buy that not even to buy, he is fucking skinny now. That is true. If you do buy that his injury issues were because his body, which I think we all agree on to some extent that's the case. Obviously, who's to say we're not his doctor? But it stands to reason that being 300 pounds made him get hurt more often. He's no longer 300 pounds. You're laughing. That was literally the number.
No, I'm not laughing at the specific number.
Yeah, no, he's a
Yeah.
smooth 245 now, and it's good. If that maintains and he can carry that throughout the regular season, which is the biggest question mark, I think. Of course, he can get skinny in the summer. Can he stay skinny is the question mark. If that's the case and the injury issues go down, we all believe that when he's at his best, he's a top 10 player. It's just been reliability. And there's a legit argument that the reliability could be better now for like straight up scientific reasons.
I don't know. I view that argument in similar lights as Paolo Banchero. Like, I just need to see it first, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go ahead and like predict something so like inertially like I can't feel it.
Yeah,
I have to see it first, bro.
But it's not though, because like with Paolo, we're just going off of hope and like other players making leaps.
Hope for
Is
Zion
this
Williamson
not
too.
No, it is.
So he'll play.
It is. But like we've seen Zion perform at a top 10 level for times before. So that's what makes it different. Is we know he's capable and he is skinny now. Like that is a meaningful difference. It's not just like we assume he'll get skinny next year. He'll probably get skinny as time goes on. Motherfucker is skinny. Like he is less heavy now. That's tangible.
I definitely see that. But can you be skinny and continuously play like
Yeah,
this? I need to see it first.
Can he stay skinny is the question mark, really, I think. And will that fix the injury issues in terms of like, he might still get hurt, but so everybody can get hurt. Will he be less of a guarantee to get hurt when he is a normal playing weight? Probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
You see why it's an interesting
my
conversation. Like it's, put aside our emotional biases of being burned by this guy. That's very possible that he's a top 10 player for this year.
It does make sense. Would it surprise me?
No. I actually think I disagree with that. I actually think that the top 10 player, like, it's hard. It's hard to get into. Like, if we're talking about Evan Mobley, as Evan Mobley might turn into this. If Evan Mobley averages 21 a game and is still DPOY, like, is Zion better than that?
Let's not forget what we've seen Zion be when he's 28 points per game, best rim scorer in the NBA besides Giannis.
He did that in his second year. I can definitely see him being better than Evan Mobley.
Yeah, that's super possible.
But if that's like the low end of the top 10, and now we're getting up at the top. Like he's not cracking top 5, obviously, but let's not focus too much. Even with like 6 through 10 and stuff, getting into like that range.
I think we should think about it like, will we think he's in that caliber? Because players get hurt, things change. Mm-hmm. There's enough like to try to project what the actual top 10 will be is tough. So just think about like, will he be that caliber? And definitively yes. If he's healthy and like at his best, he definitely can be of that tier. Where he falls to each given person is a debate, but he definitely can be better than Mobley.
Yeah, like there's a real world where I can see him averaging like 38 and 5 next year.
That's super realistic.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
They have their point guard play is decent. It's led by Jordan Poole, who's not like a necessarily true point guard. They're gonna lean into his playmaking.
There's no Ingram anymore. No other volume scorer.
Yeah, there's no Ingram. There's shout out to Trey Murphy, but his game is gonna make someone like Zion Williamson feast, considering that he's not occupying the mid-range area anymore.
Murphy, Poole is spacing. That's legit spacing that he hasn't had in a while.
It would make sense, but still, I don't fuck that. I'm being emotional. He burned me too many times, bro.
I understand.
Not on his list.
I understand it, but low key, what's funny is the best argument for cracking the superstardom on here in terms of like it actually happening. Like, there's no real theory involved other than the health thing, but like there's obviously that's always the health thing, But like again. He's skinny. Like in terms of players that actually actively can be top 10 players when they're on the court that weren't last year, that's low key the best argument.
We've seen it before.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it before. It's a return.
But we've seen it more times than not.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not gonna force us to put him on there, but just know that it's super possible and it's low key a good argument. The more that I say it.
Nah, I want to, but I just can't. I just can't right now.
I get it. But just know we're gonna look back, and if it happens, it's gonna all make sense.
It would not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
it would not surprise me at all. But right now, I just can't.
What they're saying is we're cowards, and we won't be the ones to be burned again. Yeah, and I get it. We've been burned many times.
Can I introduce you to any Trae Young conversations?
Hell
Can
nah.
I introduce you to the spacing has been better than it's ever been since 2021? Can I introduce you to long, lengthy defenders all around him?
Why?
I hate the idea that Trae Young is like some spacing dependent player. That like the spacing's gonna fix him. Like he's Giannis. Like what? I hate that for Paolo. I hate it even more for Trae Young.
Why?
I think I like it for his playmaking.
It's pliable for everybody.
It is, of course. But I think it's also gas for everybody. That's such a like easy thing. People not saying it is a thing for Trae. I'm not completely trying to minimize it, but it's such a crutch that everybody uses for their favorite player when their team isn't perfect. That we act like without 5-out spacing that teams can't exist, and like your player sucks as a scorer, but will be great when there's great spacing. Trae Young hasn't been a good interior finisher for so long, and I don't really believe it's only because of spacing.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He's never going to be a great interior defender. I don't think scorer.
Yeah,
I don't think he needs to be. Like when it comes to talking about spacing and things, everything outside of him that could help expound upon his game. We said similar things when it comes to Evan Mobley, Jared Allen being like the biggest wall there, and we've literally saw K take a leap because not Asar Thompson, but Malik Beasley was in there, and then they like got a bunch of good, not cheap role players, but good role players like Tobias Harris and Dennis Schroeder even there for a little bit as well, who just like helped give him more juice and spacing also.
Mm-hmm. I think it's better for the team. It just won't change how I view Trae Young. But it will. I know. Let me take this back.
Yeah.
It'll change how I view Trae Young's ability to lead a good offense. I guess that's probably the best argument. Is like we'll say once again he's a walking top 3 offense with good spacing. That's probably what that's probably what you mean. So never mind. I take it back. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
My bad.
similar to like how we witness. Of course, I think when it comes to being like, notice when it comes to being a superstar, no one ever like gives you that chain necessarily unless like you're literally generational. It takes like a 2 year. It's like a 2 year, 3 year period. And for someone like Jalen Brunson, we've seen him do it continuously. We didn't really want to put him there because everyone was like, "Oh, okay, win with a small guard and all this other stuff." A lot of people didn't want to put him there, but we were literally forced to go ahead and do so. And I understand Trae hasn't been doing that over the last few years. I get it. But when it comes to talking about top 12, 13 talents, I think he'll go ahead and prove that he is that this year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, top 13 talent, sure. If you tell me we rank him 13 come December when we do our rankings, okay.
That's
a possible
superstar to me.
It's like on the cusp, you just reached at 13, you didn't argue top 10. So like, I think he could be knocking on those doors. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, he said that even with Mobley, that like 13 was like superstar range. So it's not just like a trade dependent thing.
No, I'm just saying, no, it isn't. I'm just saying like, we can't make an argument for definitive. We have to be like, he can get close. Like, he can he can sniff it a little bit. We're never going to be like, yeah, that'll be the 8th best player in the world. Like, we're not like, we don't have the confidence.
Go ahead and say it right now.
I'm not. If he shoots 40% from 3 or something like that, then I'm like, oh, this is a top 10 player for sure.
Is Trae Young this year? Is he going to be better than Bron?
Who?
Bron.
Listen, man.
They're already talking about low managing Bron. Low key, maybe. Low key, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. Listen, man. I don't know.
I buy it. Because now I'm thinking
spooky.
about it more. I dismiss it when you first said it because when people talk about spacing, it's like that'll help him get efficient again. And I don't think that's the case with Trae. But I do think you're right. If there is an argument for Trae to be a superstar, it'll be because he leads elite offenses all the time. And that's been dampened the past couple of years.
Because of the spacing.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. I see that you're right. I see that point that they could be a top 5 offense again. And that could be like the argument for Trae as the engine.
True.
Yeah.
So I take it back. I see your argument. Am I willing to think he'll be better than these guys? I don't know. But he'll be sniffing those doors.
Okay.
I don't know why I said sniffing those doors. Nobody sniffs doors. He'll be sniffing those combos.
Outside of you, I guess.
I'll be
Door
sniffing
sniffer.
Anybody else you guys want to argue for the superstar jump?
I think that might be
That's
it.
it.
Genuinely. It's a super short list.
Okay. Even shorter list. Is there any players you think will make the leap from superstar to legend? And to me, what that means is you either become an MVP, you become a champion, you become something of the sort, something definitive that we can say you're one of the best players to ever play in a way that's not just, a peak for peak when everybody's at their prime, regular season. We can definitively say you are a top, let's call it 30 player of all time.
It's two guys.
Yeah, only 2 guys.
There's only 2 guys.
And I should say last year Shea made that jump.
Okay.
Yes, Shea's the only one who made that jump for sure.
And this year there are only 2 players that are that have the capability of making that from superstar to legend.
Okay.
2.5, but something else will have to go crazy. Number 1, obviously Wemby, right? Wemby is on this list.
I thought that was the half. Okay.
Number 2, Anthony Edwards,
Okay.
For sure.
and then the half is. And again, if something crazy happens, if the Knicks win a championship, then Brunson. But like that's the half. But like
Get
the
outta
other,
here.
that's what I said. It's a half. Listen, I said half, and I said something crazy would have to happen.
Okay, I
No.
think we should say
that is
No,
something crazy.
no.
If time out. Just to defend the half
Okay,
real
okay,
quick,
okay, go
because you got time to defend Trae.
okay. And he convinced me, so go ahead.
If Brunson once again averages 27 in the regular season, increases his playoff scoring to 30 points a game, has another year of carrying playoff offense, is still super clutch, and the Knicks win a championship, is Jalen Brunson Jalen Brunson not a legend and on a legendary run?
Sure.
He's like a Knicks legend, and he'll be like he wouldn't be a top 30 player of all time, but I see your point. That we would certainly be having these conversations next summer. So yeah, I see your point.
He would rank as one of the.
that is my half,
That'd be a top 50 player of all time immediately.
and that is my half.
Okay.
Now, aside from that,
Yeah.
Let me tell you my list.
Wemby and Ant.
I think Ant is certainly in the conversation. That's a 1. I think Wemby's a half, just because that's imagining a jump from playing 25 games and looking great and not touching the playoffs to, oh, what the fuck? This is the best player in the world. Like that's a gigantic leap. That to me, Wemby's a half. The other 1 to me, I'll say Jalen Brunson's a quarter to throw you a jump, throw you a bone.
I'll take that.
Jalen
I'll
Brunson's
take
a quarter.
Okay.
He's a 10th. I think.
No, quarter.
The other 1, Luka Doncic.
I disagree. I feel like
I think
Luka
he's already
is
been
already on the trajectory.
That's the point. I agree. He's on trajectory. We talk about him in conversations with other top 30 players. We have like TikToks where we say he's better than John Stockton, better than Kidd, whatever. And I agree. Like we've had these runs, but if he retired today, he wouldn't be a top 30 player. And obviously these type of players like Luka, they're on that trajectory for a while and eventually they become that. Like Giannis in 21, Jokic in 22, I'm 23, you know, like eventually you have to stop being a trajectory convo and become a legend. Like Shea became a legend last year, winning MVP, winning a championship. And, you know, I don't think the Lakers are winning a championship. They're also not like, it's not a 0% chance. But if you tell me Luka has his revenge tour, has the skinny thing is real and he is the MVP and like they make a run a little deeper than we thought they'd make, like there's a world where we crown Luka. If he makes it, if somehow he has another finals appearance and MVP, like that could be a top 30 resume stamper.
I think Luka right now, and because obviously like we talk about the trajectory, but let's just say that like he just keeps doing what he's doing for another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's a massive thing. And I actually hold it very, very highly. If he can actually go out and secure an MVP for a year, to actually be able to go out and produce and not just be top 2, top 3 finishes, to have a year where everybody in the world says you have that. That's fine. So I do hold that very highly. However, his resume is basically like Charles Barkley's, you know, like, I agree. And Charles Barkley is also a guy that we look at, has a finals appearance. Luka has that, has the all NBAs, has the conference finals appearance before in 22, has all of those things. And so if you're saying that like he wins MVP and we put him like firmly in there, cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that like even without that, Luka is in a space where top 30 is like if he retired in 2 years, top 30 is still there.
I 100% agree. I think he's already graduated from those conversations.
Dude.
And like, of course, like when we want to see him do the big thing, but we're not going to sit here. You believe like when it comes to NBA legendary status, he's not so far away from someone like Shea. The only thing that separates him, of course, is the MVP and a championship or whatever, which is, of course, huge. But when it comes to thinking about Luka and just how he's going to be viewed in NBA history, he's one of the first dudes ever to, when it comes to going on a streak of winning or being a part of all NBA first team. I think he has 5 in a row. There's only like 6 players who can say they have 5 in a row. He's already historic on that level. Similar feats to Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, LeBron. He's already in those conversations. So I think when it comes to him being a legend, like he's already that.
Like pre-injury.
I know what you're saying.
Pre-injury with no finals or regular season MVP, where would Tatum be in these combos? Like, is Tatum top 35? Is he top 30?
Tatum's not a legend, I don't think.
Nah.
Tatum's not a legend.
Nah. That's what I'm asking. Like, where are we putting?
I'd probably rank him like around
he's
50,
top 50.
50 all time.
Maybe
like
like 45, 40. I don't know.
Right? Like, I think, okay, so I think like the reason why you would knock some of the other guys where it's like either Wade or you knock Harden or stuff like that is like Wade didn't have the MVP. Harden choked in the playoffs. Luka's also in the spot where every time he goes to the playoffs, he levels up. And so you can't even look at him and be like, oh, he's a playoff choker. He will be in a category where you look at him and it's going to be like KG adjacent, where it's like, wow, like his talent was just wasted. Like he didn't have the best teams around him. I don't know if he would be in that tier of superstar to legend right now, because I think that like, yes, we're already like waiting on the thing to happen, but he's kind of already there where like Ant has to get to another level to get to where Luka is. Wemby, the same thing. Luka just feels
he's already there. We're just waiting.
He's in a weird space where he's kind of like outside of ranking right now.
I know exactly. That's my point. Like I think you have to really analyze your biases here. That we're assuming he's gonna get there, so we're
he's there.
Like
I'm not assuming he's already there.
He's not a legend yet. I agree.
He's a legend.
No,
he's a legend. Okay. He's one of the greatest players of all time, legitimately, on so many facets and skills.
He's not a top 30 player of all time. It's just that there's no fucking way he's a top 30
he's
player.
top 30 all time, but I'm saying he's a legend.
But even the same way that we were talking about like top 10 and like if we're making like top 30 the marker, like if we expand that even to out like top 35, whatever, like. Right, we don't have to be so hardline on top 30.
Sure,
but like Luka is in all time purgatory, where Ant right now is in the category of like, oh, he's one of like the coolest and most fun players in his era, but he has not cemented himself as an all time talent
I agree.
or anything like that. Luka has surpassed that.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. He doesn't belong.
We're
there.
misconstruing this. We're not picking the players that are most poised to eventually make that. We're picking players that can make that jump right now. And for everything you're saying is why I think Luka should be here.
So
because he's on the trajectory, he's taken every step, and you feel like he's on the way, but he's not there yet. If he retired today, he would not be considered a legend. We're saying that in the moment now because we understand that nobody else has rarely been on that trajectory where we feel with pretty goddamn certainty he's going to get there, but that doesn't mean he's there yet. And eventually he'll cross that threshold. And if you tell me, if you guys believe that this is going to be the year we get MVP Luka, that'll probably be what crosses him into that threshold and makes it definitive, and not just guys like us that are like, I know what I'm looking at. That could make it definitive that this is Charles Barkley tier or even better.
There were people making arguments that he was the best player in the world a year and a half ago.
Fringe people saying that, but that wasn't true. So like, I don't like, sure, people said that, and people said that about Barkley at times too, I'm sure. He's right behind Jordan, but that doesn't mean he was a legend in year 7. He became a legend over time because he also had really good longevity that Luka doesn't have yet. So like, if Barkley retired when he was 27, he wouldn't have been a legend. You know, like, again, Luka is on trajectory, but he's only 27. He's not there yet.
Yeah, but even if like the All NBA like first team, even if those are done and he's just like second or third team all time, if he just has mad just all NBAs, like we can I do think it is fair to assume and not have it be some wild thing to say, whether first, second, or third team, Luka's going to have 5 more All NBA selections for the rest of his career, barring injury. I don't think like that's crazy or anything like that.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not arguing against you. I agree with you. That what you're arguing is you're against it is my argument for it. Is that like I think he's real close and one major accomplishment away from it being definitive. And there's who knows who wins MVP. We've had this conversation with Luka every year, but like if this is the year, would that shock you? No. So I feel like it's the best argument.
But I feel like your argument is really just like he's going to. It really just comes down to, is he going to win MVP or not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He needs.
But you don't need to win an MVP to be a legend.
I see what you're saying. I completely disagree. He needs to have an accomplishment at some point. For the theory that we all think he is, and we know that like the peak is that good. There were other players who were every year a top 5 player for a long time, making all NBAs, that you forget about because they never got that accomplishment and didn't become that top 30 player. Again, just using the top 30 mark. Yeah. At some point, Luka needs to do something. Like at some point, there needs to be some kind of accolade.
I think you're tying yourself too hard to the top 30 mark in order to be required or called a legend as well.
Well, I think you're making it too broad. That legend is like you're like a legendary player. I think the point of this is like you're signaling you're in history and you're one of the players. So I think we need to be more specific than you're just saying like you're using the trajectory thing and saying he's already legendary. I think we're saying like you are one of the best players of all time, like Luka, like Shea last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Luka at some point needs an accolade, and I think this could be the year.
For sure, I think he does need an accolade in order for him to like not even be cemented, but like dramatically boosted in those conversations. It's just like when I think of like legends, I'm thinking about guys like James Harden. I'm thinking about someone like Russell Westbrook, who, of course, like didn't accomplish much, or MVPs. In terms of like, MVPs. Yeah, MVPs, correct. But of course, like MVP or not, I think we're still gonna feel like Luka is in that same breath.
Well, that's a different conversation. I think for this, we should say like the conversation will be, you're right. He's as good as those guys. He just couldn't get it done. Second place, that sucks. Sure, but I think when you really sit down 15 years from now, if Luka gets nothing and you start ranking the top, I'll just use number 30, but it's not super important. He'll get pushed aside over guys who do have that record. Like Harden would rank above him.
Yes. Okay. So, but the reason why I disagree, I agree and I understand your argument. However, I disagree with him being in the same tier of like taking this jump with these other guys just because
he deserves to be in a different category.
We haven't even said the other guys should be here for sure yet, though.
That's fair, but like
it's an empty tier right now.
Just in this conversation, because I think we all say like Ant is in this tier of like,
I don't know if so again.
That was your one though, right?
No, but no,
we can talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying those are guys that like are in the running. This is about not people that we're saying are positioned for that. It's people that we're projecting to make that breakout this year. I don't think Ant's making that breakout this year.
Oh, you don't think that he's going to make that breakout? He's not on the list.
Do you think Ant's going to win MVP, make the finals, win the finals, do something to solidify himself as one of the greats? I think he's a couple leaps away from that. So I think it's what we're talking about. But again, this isn't about their position. We think they will do it this year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm going to Luka. I think there's a good chance he does do it this year.
Okay, so if that is your point, the like next week or in 2 weeks when we do our Luka has to be your MVP pick, right? Like it's just it really, if that is the only thing that we're talking about, where it's like we need accolades and it's either you win MVP or you win the finals or something like that. That has to
for Luka. That's all that is necessary. I made that thing with Ant just because like in comparison. Mm-hmm. Sure, I'll make Luka my MVP. Fuck it. Why not?
If that's the case too, then Wemby can't be here as well.
I also don't know if I call Wemby a half because it's worth considering, but I think Wemby has to have several. Wemby has to have a lot of years before we call him a legend. So I agree. That's why I don't necessarily put Wemby here. I think legend's very exclusive. Like I use the Shea thing example because he MVP and
had one of the
championship
best guard seasons of all time.
Yeah, like that's a top 30 player of all time. I think pretty definitively. And I think to me this has to be definitive. And to me, 30 is a good number for legend, just from my standards. Whatever the number means to you, I think this player has to do it definitively this year. And I don't feel like Ant or Wemby, we should expect that.
Okay, if you're using the definitive word, then I agree. If I had that mindset too, like it doesn't belong here. There's only one player who fits that, and it could be, or it is like Luka. Mm-hmm. But I just tend to divorce myself from like the definitive conversation because I think someone like Ant and Wemby, they're about to be on a roll of like, they're gonna be consistent first or second team All NBA, and we're gonna see them start to build out that catalog. Yeah, you're talking about a player who already has a catalog, but he's just waiting to finish the final chapter.
He needs his class.
Because I think what you're describing is those players becoming like superstars. Well, Ant made that jump already. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think this whole list is definitive. I think the point of this is that we're talking about players that definitively enter the next tier. And like, I think Ant and Wemby are poised to. I think they'll probably get there eventually, assuming Ant makes some leaps.
Well, I mean, we had like we said Cade, but we also had a question mark by Cade. But I think like, if Luka is going to be your MVP pick, I'm okay with it, I guess. I still think that like he is tiers ahead of it. And so like if Luka is going to be the only one in this tier, then fine. And then we just can't put they just don't belong in the same tier is the ultimate thing. And so if the other two guys aren't on that track and we don't think that the leap is going to happen, cool, then they're not here.
Yeah, if y'all want to interpret it differently than me, but to me, that's what would be necessary. Is like you are one of the. This should be a very, very, very like. There could be some years there's nobody. If you want to say Luka doesn't deserve it, nobody deserves it. This could be blank. But I would sooner make it blank than just like throw guys that are young and we think they'll be really good over time.
Okay, so out of all of these guys, I think for the spirit of this tier and for what I actually think is possible, and can like realistically happen, I think Ant should be here. I genuinely think that like there's I
agree with you. I think
a non-zero chance and like actually a realistic chance of Ant making a leap and potentially winning MVP this year.
Yeah, I think he definitely is in that conversation of winning MVP for sure.
Okay, and again, we're using the Shea as the marker. You think Ant could enter top whatever all-time combos this year?
If he wins the MVP, yeah. And I think that he can. I think that we've seen from Ant is 2 years of playoff rising in whatever context, but like teams that nobody thought was going to go anywhere and have made the conference finals.
Led by him.
Led by him.
But also good teams. It wasn't just like backpacking. But yeah.
Yeah, but they were like 6 seeds, 5 seeds, whatever. But we've seen that on a team success level. And so I'm sure we're going to come into this year, we're going to do our rankings. I'll probably be like, yeah, I think the Wolves are going to be like 6. And then we're going to look up and they're going to be up 3-2 in the second round. And we'll see what happens. So there's that. We saw him go from one of the most athletic slashers in the world and just say, I'm going to be Dame overnight. Yep. And so his ability to add things to his game is, as far as what he's shown, second to none in terms of just adding parts to his game. Even if the post game that he's talking about doesn't happen this year,
I think it will though.
Even if it doesn't, the playmaking improvements that he has shown over the last 2 years and in playoff situations leads me to believe that even that can go to another level and we can get a crazy, crazy year from Ant.
Yeah, okay. I agree. I think the playmaking, through what you said, you think is going to happen. The post-up game, both going to coincide, and it's going to usher him into like, oh shit, like similar to, not the same conversation, but similar to how like, oh fuck, like this guy's similar to LeBron before he won an MVP. Oh shit, like he's actually here, and we can see a legitimate pathway to him breaching like upper echelon conversations of guys in his position.
Yeah, I think you throw that LeBron comp. I see what you're saying. Also, he could just be Shea. He could be in that same convo and catch up to Shea as like one of these gifted scorers that can lead playoff offenses and be a championship level player.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to say Luka's already a legend in your guys' eyes, Ant can jump into the same tier of Luka, Shea, etc. I just feel like we're so quick to crown Luka, and like I agree, but like I feel like he has to do something too, to earn that trajectory. But if you want to say he's already a legend, okay, that's our list. You guys outvote me.
If Luka was to do what he was doing, going back to what he said for the next 10 years, do you feel like he's a legend or not?
Well, 10 years would make it a long time. So that's like, that would be crazy.
He's already halfway there.
5 years.
No, you said another 10.
Oh, my bad. Five more years.
Larry Bird level career in terms of like 12, 13 year career. You have 10 all NBA.
Boy, yeah.
So let's call it a couple more first teams, couple second teams. So seven-time first team all NBA, 3-time second team.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Obviously, that's a great player. Will I rank him top 30 though? With no final, say he makes one more finals appearance, doesn't win. I don't know. Like that would be a fringe case. No MVPs, no finals. A lot of players have 10 all NBA teams. Like not a lot that eliminates him from the convo.
But like seven first?
Yeah, first. A lot don't.
Again, keep in mind there will be a lot of people that are there because of championships before him. There's plenty of other guys that have a lot of all NBAs. That will be a lot of all NBAs. I'm not to say it'll be like. There's 50, like there's not a ton, but there will be plenty of arguments of other people above him. It won't be definitive. It'll be like, I watched him at his peak. He was as good as anybody. That for sure will be an argument that I'll have, and I'll say he was as good as Jokic some years. But in terms of like accolades and balancing that with peak, I do think he'd have a tough argument against other guys.
Yeah. I do agree with you. He has to do it. Like he has to get one. But he's more like in line, waiting to like.
And I don't know why that disqualifies him. Just because he's closer to legend than Ant doesn't mean they can't both be guys that make a leap to legend.
Well, I think like that's what I'm saying. Like I think that he is in line to getting his like passport stamp, as opposed to like Ant hasn't even sent in the paperwork to get it, and like he's doing the process.
But that doesn't matter to me for a breakout. Like just because we're going from superstar to legend instead of like almost legend to legend, they'd still both become legends. Like that wouldn't disqualify it for me.
But I feel like that's an actual. The thing is, I don't know if there's a. What you're asking Luka to do is not asking Luka to take a leap, because he certainly had MVP level seasons before. You're asking him to be Luka Doncic, like at from
just finish it.
Yeah, it's more an ask of consistency rather than.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal to go from superstar to legend, be consistent.
Okay, but like
we talk about that. My bad. We talk about that season as being like MVP worthy. Yeah. There's a reason he was third and not first, despite what Luka fans want to tell you. He didn't start the season off good enough, and the team wasn't good enough. Second half of the year, it did get good enough, and he won. Like doing that for a whole season and going from almost MVP, one of the more impressive non-MVP seasons, to being MVP and mixing team success and player success, that is meaningful to me.
I understand that. I also in that year, I would also argue that like if you start the first 55 games of a season great, and you can like tail off in the last like 17 or whatever, that's a better way to like win MVP than in reverse. But again, I think that is a matter of once again consistency over the season. Whereas for Ant, we are actually asking you to become a better basketball player. Where even if Luka does the thing and he is consistent, I'm gonna be happy for him, and I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, like I got it. I don't think that Luka would be a quote unquote better basketball player if he won MVP this year because he played well from October to
March.
I
know what you mean. I agree. I'm with you. I also think Luka is that good. I just think we don't apply that to everybody. I think we give Luka a certain pass because we know he is so talented. We say this now. And I guess to your point earlier, we say this because he plays well in the playoffs. It's kind of a Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson conversation thing, which is like kind of bullshit that we care about some people having the accolades.
I mean, they both have MVPs.
Some people losing in style, we don't give that pass to everybody, and we do to Luka. And I'm not saying we shouldn't give him that pass or anything. Yeah. I just think that I can give him that pass and still not call him a legend yet.
I don't know. I just looked up. He has more All NBA first teams than Dirk, Steph, Chris Paul, KG, Moses Malone,
Chris
Anthony
Paul.
Davis.
Okay, so Chris Paul,
Allen Iverson,
and like
Steve
Clyde
Nash.
Drexler are the two, and I think that Chris Paul probably fits the mold much better. With like, where do you think Chris Paul is at right now, all time?
Like 25.
If you
we did our top 30 rings. I think I put him like 29, didn't I?
Okay, so if you have Chris Paul at like 29, then I think that there's a world where you can look at Luka, even if he doesn't have an MVP or championship, and say, hey, he's going to be a top 30 player of all time.
Yeah, Chris Paul is a perfect example. Yeah. That's a fringe legend.
Yeah.
As much as I love him, that's a fringe legend.
Yeah, but
Wow.
but then you also add
Okay.
Just think about how many other legends there are. Like that's the guy that like we put in there because we appreciate his prime, but like
Yeah.
it's not a definitive thing, you know. Some people would argue against it.
But take Chris Paul's career and his playoff career, and then say, yeah, and then we're just gonna give you 35, 10, and 7 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so it's a different kind of,
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
even
I
disagree about who Luka is. It's just like what qualifies as a
Yeah,
legend.
you're just super strict when it comes to legends. There's 30
Yeah.
legends in your mind when it comes to the NBA.
Well, no, whatever the number is, but like I think in terms of making a
27
legend,
legends.
I think we should be strict about players going from superstar to legend. Like that's such an easy thing for us to say as like young people that watch these guys. But what I just think the Shea thing is a perfect example of like that's a clear delineation between who Shea was before this year and who Shea is after. Like you are stamped in history, and I just don't want to get ahead of myself with Luka.
That's fair. Shea also, this was what, like year 2 of Shea being
3 All NBA. Yeah,
Yeah, it's year 3, so like he's in the midway point of where Luka's at,
Exactly.
and so there's another half of it. So
Okay. That was such a long conversation about the Luka's legend
Yeah.
equity and like the minutia of what is a
It
legend.
was needed.
We don't even disagree, but it's just
Yeah.
like what is legend.
it was good though.
Okay, and that's our tier of breakout players for this year. We think 6 players will make a jump from brown shirt to elite role player. 4 players will go from sub all-star to all-star or elite role player to all-star. 2 guys will go from all-star to superstar, and Ant will go from superstar to legend. Which I don't know if you will, but we'll give it to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel confident that like this is the start.
he's
Yeah.
on.
This will be.
I agree, it's a start, but I feel
Yeah.
like this pick is just like makes the most sense of anybody.
Yeah.
He's on my short list though.
Yeah. Him and Wemby for me for sure.
Yeah, I think they'll both be legends. I just don't know if I'm gonna like. I'm not picking Ant to win
Stamp
MVP this year. And I'm not picking the Wolves to make the finals this year.
Mhm.
So Ant would have to go average like 35 points per game and have some crazy season where I'm like, that's one of the best regular seasons I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Shit, maybe.
Not too crazy to say at this point.
Maybe he's James Harden.
Yeah.
Hey man,
That's super possible. I'm not even joking. That's super possible. He can pick a James Harden lead.
I hope not, man. I hope not.
it's about to.
Yeah.
It's about to get scary.
Scary hours.
I don't know if he's playing fair.
And with that being said,
You know what's scarier than him not playing fair?
What?
tuberculosis.
TikTok. What the fuck?
What?
I guess so. But TikTok time in October. It's gonna get spooky.
We're gonna get into some TikTok time, do some more preview for this season, blend together some other topics that color the preseason preview section of this season. Let's get into it. Welcome to TikTok time. Today we are once again going to begin with the draft. You see Donovan is out here flexing because he just found out he is the first pick in the draft, and this is a particularly good one to have. That was a crazy sound. This is a particularly good draft to have the first pick in because we are drafting NBA lineups with only players who changed teams this offseason.
Damn.
So whether it be trade, whether it be free agency, all they have to do is have played for a new team in a couple weeks than they last played for last season.
We were born to be cooked. Even if Giannis was here, man, I would still be cooked.
Yeah, there's
Damn it.
stuff. But me and you are cooked together. So if we beat Donovan, just know it's an all-time sell.
Okay.
So with that being said, Donovan, where are we going with the first pick in the offseason teams changed draft?
At my
Tyus
power-
Jones. Yeah, he said Tyus Jones.
I heard him. I heard it
True,
clear.
Dummy.
true, yeah.
Loud and clear.
At my power forward, I would like Kevin Durant.
God damn it.
Damn it.
You know, it's funny. I didn't even think about this because I didn't realize I had second pick. I don't know who I'm picking second. KD is the obvious number 1. There's nobody else even close to Kevin Durant in this.
Yeah.
Number 2, I guess give me Desmond Bane. I guess
Yeah.
it's the second best player that moved teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cooked.
Damn.
I don't know why you're laughing. You're more cooked.
But he gets to double up though.
Fuck, I'm more cooked.
Yeah, I hate to be in your position. Okay, so first player up off my board, give me Porzingis.
Okay.
At
Got
my
the
center
hometown guy.
spot. Hometown guy and probably just like the third best player here.
It's
After Porzingis, go ahead and give me Drew Holiday at my 1.
Damn it, I was about to do that. Having him and Bane would have been nice.
Yeah.
Having Drew, listen, we've seen Drew and Tingus win a championship together. Now, are the 2 best players walking through those doors? Fuck no. But maybe DFS can lead them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Simons. Give me Cam Johnson.
Okay.
Probably the next best player here.
Okay.
There's no other stars here. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I got to build out a great, well-rounded role player team, and Cam Johnson is a place to start.
All right, let's actually move KD to my 3. At my 4, we're gonna take DFS.
Okay. Damn. Nice long team so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then at my what do I want to do?
Yeah, so this is a tough one.
At my 1, does this count Damian Lillard.
He's not playing this year. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think he should.
you,
count.
you would
Does
get
it
him with
count?
no
He
Achilles.
switched teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the question. I just wanted to know.
going for
Yeah,
name
you,
recognition.
you could have him if you want an injured player that can't
No,
play.
no, no,
Play
no,
4 or
it's
5.
okay,
Sure.
it's okay.
I dare you.
It's okay, I'm fine. At my 5, I will take. Ooh,
There's some good 5s.
there are
What
some.
do you
good
want
fives.
stylistically is hard.
There are some good 5s. You know, I'll take the old man. Give me Al Horford.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, thank God he did that. Give me Miles Turner at center.
What a sell. Jeez, man.
I'm building the role player super team.
I want all the old dudes who know how to play basketball.
I got straight shooters that can defend a little bit.
I'm telling you right now, the unction is happening.
Oh, man. Okay.
Ooh, I'm making the nicest 41-41 team you've ever seen.
So, now I got something for you. Give me Jordan Poole at my 2.
Okay, that's a decent fit with Drew Holiday.
Yeah, that's a great fit. Yeah,
Yeah.
both yin and yang. Got some juice and I got some stability with Drew. I like that. And then at my 4, give me John Collins.
Him and Tingus is interesting.
Great spacing. Elite spacing.
Interesting defensively. I can't tell if it'll be good or not.
I think they'll be good. They'll be good. They'll be good. They'll be good.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I got Drew Holiday there as well.
Not like you can do better, so it'll be fine. Fuck, man. This is tough. Low key, I guess at point guard, give me Dennis Schroeder. I guess. I need someone who can slash at all this spacing. Give me a paint touch.
That's fair.
Okay. He does get to the paint.
That's
very
all I
true.
need.
That's fair.
41-41 is what we're aiming for. I think
All
I'm getting there.
All of my guys, listen, we are old, but we need just a little bit of pace. So I'll take Lonzo Ball at point guard.
I was thinking about that too. That's a good one.
Okay.
If he plays basketball, good pick.
And in this hypothetical where no actual basketball games are played, amazing pick.
He'll be healthy.
Amazing pick. And then my last pick to go along with Lonzo. See, this is hard because I have decent defense really all across. Durant's my only scorer. And here's what I'll do. I will get another professional scorer. I'll take CJ McCollum at the 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's not who I thought you were going to
So
pick.
that's a good second option.
I have 2 options left here. I can go safe. I can go with a gritty defender in Dylan Brooks. Or I can get more buckets. Give me Michael Porter Jr. at power forward. My organization bans podcast mics. All I want is 3s, and he can give it to me.
Good God, your team is kind of annoying.
My team is like low-key
You got
decent.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder and a bunch of shooters. It's kind of dope. Not good,
You
but like
said-
interesting.
You're building the best 41-41 team of all time. This is 39-43.
Okay.
I think I can get to 42. Doesn't mean unlocked a little bit.
Okay. And naturally, that just leaves me with Dylan Brooks.
Yep.
A natural fit. 40% 3-point shooter. Most annoying guy in the league. I feel good with him.
I feel like he's lost that title.
Yeah, he hasn't been too annoying lately. He chilled out a little bit.
Oh, you just wait. Okay.
My team would be excellent in 2K. Having one slasher and hella shooting.
Yeah.
We
So
could do
this
something
team
with
right
this.
here is genuinely, if you ever want to see peak Jordan Poole, this is his team right here. He is running this show.
Oh yeah,
So much
that's 20
spacing,
wins.
so much
Big
lobs.
Jordan Poole.
Great defense from Tingus, Brooks, Drew. Collins ain't no slouch either.
This team would be excellent 2 years ago. You would have been nasty with prime Drew Holiday with a little bit more step in him.
Hey, he still got some steps. You just wait.
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you had a little more in Drew Holiday's legs, Tingus a little more healthy, this would have been nasty.
So I got Drew Holiday, Jordan Poole, Dylan Brooks, John Collins, and Tingus Pingus.
I got Dennis Schroeder, Desmond Bain, Cam Johnson, Michael Porter Jr., and Miles Turner.
And I have Lonzo Ball, CJ McCollum, Kevin Durant, DFS, and Al Horford.
You know what's funny?
What?
You're the most talented on your team. It would suck. Unction for real. It would be disappointing. It'd be another disappointing Kevin Durant team.
Oh, shit. Yeah. The youngest player on your team is Lonzo, and he moved like he's 40.
You have 0 slashers, 0 athleticism.
Whoa.
Talking to him.
Poole?
Talking to him.
Whoa. Okay.
And that is why.
He needs a John Collins. That's what he needs.
Whoa. Oh, my God. You're right.
Dude, he has no athleticism. Nobody can rebound. Nobody can dunk. Nobody can block shots. It's just technique.
Yeah.
But they're technically sound.
Just hella
That's all you need.
They're
hella
technically
bounce
sound.
We know
passes
how to
and
win
shit.
basketball games.
This is a Rucker Park super team with CJ McCollum, Kevin Durant, and just those two, I guess. And a bunch of guys that'll stand around.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what
How
I
did
live
you
for.
make such an athletic team?
That's what I live for.
That's crazy.
I'm
Everywhere
surprised.
Kevin Durant goes, he has no passing and no athleticism, and this is not any different.
This is what he did. This is the curse that the basketball gods put upon him.
It's only right. You
deserves
built
it.
around Kevin Durant in the most realistic way possible. And that's good.
Come on. Listen, I see the world for what it is.
Yeah. Not for what you want it to be.
I just noticed we all drank at the same time. Synergy.
Okay, y'all let us know who won in the comments. I really don't know. Because, like, you have Kevin Durant, but I don't know who would win, like, the most games out of these teams.
Who
I don't know. It's
has
just not you.
the worst defense?
He has worst defense.
Dennis.
Donovan?
Dennis is good.
Donovan,
Cam
I
is
guess?
Is it?
I don't know. I
it's
mean, my team is, like, no amazing defenders, but no bad defenders at all.
MPJ's not.
MPJ's not bad at all. Defensively, he's a good little weak side shot blocker. He's defensive utility. He's not, like, lockdown, but it's fine.
I don't think Donovan has the
Lonzo Durant, Horford, DFS is
It's pretty good, but I don't.
it's fine. Like,
CJ Alonso isn't moving me in 2025 defensively.
don't worry about that.
And like Bane's also fine. Cam Johnson's a little above average. Dennis fine.
I guess you could pick on Jordan Poole, but that's really
I
it.
certainly can.
I could pick on CJ McCollum then if that's the case. You can pick on Dennis, but you won't have a good time. He'll annoy you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I won.
Cam Johnson and MPJ gonna take themselves out of the game.
Like
My spacing's kind of ridiculous though. Can
My
Dennis?
spacing is ridiculous.
Oh, your space is good. I don't think Collins Brooks is ridiculous or Drew Holiday. It's not ridiculous. I mean, yeah, Tingus,
Spacing wise,
it's not ridiculous. It's good.
Collins is a 40% 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
you know what
a
Tingus
fake
is.
ass 40. Him and Brooks aren't like needle moving 40s.
Nah.
MPJ and Cam is a way more deadly spacing 40 than Brooks and Collins. Not even close.
I'm talking about the trio of those guys.
At Turner and Tingus.
Along with Poole.
Tingus
again.
obviously stretches the field further, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I got clips
listen,
on mine.
Interesting
leaving. I'm sagging off with Drew a little bit. I'm sagging off with Dylan. Like if Drew Holiday and Dylan Brooks want to beat me, by
Go
all
for
means,
it.
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
I dare you. Go
And
ahead.
Jordan Poole is your best like drink stirrer as the guy that can lead the offense. I'm blitzing
You have
Jordan
no
Poole.
bus drivers.
No bus drivers. Neither do I. But Dennis low key can do it. Not for a good team. For a 41 win team, Dennis can do it. We saw it last year with the Nets at the beginning of the year. I'm playing Nets basketball with Desmond Bane and Mon Turner.
Oh my God, you are. That's a terrible team. Oh my
None
God.
of these teams are good.
That's it.
But none of them are bad. That's the thing. Next thing we're going to do. Media day just happened. And there's some interesting things said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some quotes said by a player at 2025 Media Day. You guess who the player is that you're looking at.
Okay.
So real simple. Try to judge the context clues of who said these quotes.
Okay.
You are the age you tell your mind you are.
Obviously,
You are the age you tell
an
your
Unc
mind
said
you
this.
Trying to cope
Yeah.
with his
So,
back hurting when he wakes up.
Someone who
Chris Paul?
still got it.
This feels like
Nah, Chris Paul already know he's retiring.
Yeah, Chris
after
Paul
that.
would be like, I'm all the shit, not gonna lie. He's
Yeah.
like, I feel
are
old.
the age you tell your mind you are.
It sounds like someone who is, of course, old, wise,
But wants
someone who
to act like they're young.
tends to get their bars off,
You know who
but
it
maybe
is.
forcing it too.
You know who this
Is
is.
this my goat, LeBron James?
It is your goat, LeBron James.
Yeah.
You can listen, I feel
We know
25 when
you.
I wake up in the morning. Who's to say I'm not?
We know you. We know you, bro.
Remember when Ty Lue went ahead and said, like years ago, I think in 2019 or 2018, LeBron has a body of a 19-year-old. OD glazing. Fucking crazy.
Yep. You are what you tell your mind you are. It's all about mental preparation and the positive mindset you frame your world in.
I ain't hear a lie told.
He's kind of cooking, but also you're old as hell. Next up, I see myself as a budding star, even though I'm 32.
This is Norman Powell?
This is Norman Powell.
I don't even know.
This is Norman Powell.
Such a devious picture. Too.
He's so real.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I wake up, I see a rising star. I don't care what you see.
And that's what it's about. It's about self-confidence. You're never too old to chase your dreams in life. And he said, I know I could be a professional scorer in the NBA.
Yep, I can make my first All-Star appearance.
He looks like 21 Savage.
It's because of the scar.
Yeah, he looks like
I mean,
Donovan when makes it from one Savage.
You look
No, he
like
doesn't.
21 Savage.
Everyone says it. It's true. You look like Norman Powell. So he's the one where you don't look like him, but you also do. Depending on what part of the face you look at, you're
This
either
is
twins or you're nothing alike.
This is just a bad angle for
Yeah.
Norman Powell right
this is,
now.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not twin. This is not my twin.
Yeah, no, Chubbs is your twin. Norman Powell's your cousin.
You have a lot of twins. Remember that
I think I
TikTok I
have
sent you the
twins.
other day?
That was
Dude,
hilarious.
that was scary.
You sent me an Indian man, and we're like, "That's Donovan."
Yeah,
And
he was Ethiopian, I think. But yeah, dude, when I first
I told you.
when
No,
I first
did I
seen
tell you
Donovan,
about that, though?
I thought he was Ethiopian. I was like, oh, what's
Did
up,
I
my East
tell you
African
about that?
brother? What?
Some lady in Costco, I was some Ethiopian lady asked me, like she came up to me and asked me if I was Ethiopian, and I was like no, and she was like, oh my god, could you look just like my brother?
Etrian dude, I love it.
I know, and that's why I sent to the chat, and I was like, I'm just gonna start,
Yeah, you pass.
next
I'm gonna shake my shoulders. We're gonna be good.
I'm in a city now that wants to celebrate me, and it feels good.
Sounds like a damn loser. What type of shit? What do you mean?
You say he wants to feel wanted, and his new team makes him feel that way.
This guy switched teams clearly.
Let's see. Wants to be wanted.
And wants to celebrate me. That wants to put me on a pedestal.
It sounds like someone who thinks they're the main character, but you're probably not.
It's not Jordan Poole, maybe.
It's not Jordan Poole.
Well,
Jordan Poole is a humble guy these days.
He is. He's much more calm.
yeah.
Much more calm. City now that wants to celebrate me.
Okay, this is a guy who
Bradley
clearly
Beal?
feels like he didn't
Not Bradley
get
Beal. Yeah, he feels like he didn't get his just
nearly
due.
enough credit.
Jalen Green.
Not Jalen Green.
Nah,
Let's
they rode for Jalen Green back then.
Yeah, Rockets fans did defend him to the life.
Yeah.
So this is a guy who feels like
I
he
mean,
also said this.
He had a whole civil war.
This guy said that this comment was about his front office, not the fans. He clarified on Twitter.
This is Miles Turner because
This
he's
is
been
Miles Turner.
a little like weird too.
Yep. He said they constantly want to trade me. He said this is about the free agency pitch that he got from both teams, and the Bucks wanted him more.
This is such a poorly stated thing by him. Like, bruh.
Yeah, I don't know. The Pacers weren't trying to. They didn't care that much if he left or stayed.
But to say city instead of like front office or just like
Or
group
like,
of
I'm
people.
on a team now. that
Yeah,
was-
and Pacers fans are mad about that. They were, "What do you mean? We appreciated you when you were here." He's like, "My bad, y'all. I'm talking about Mr. Pritchard. Let's make it clear."
yeah.
He said on Twitter, "It's all about his free agency experience."
That's hilarious. Okay.
But shout out, I'm sure the Bucks are celebrating having him because it's the one chance they have of Giannis staying. So I'm sure they're celebrating the shit out of him
Yep. Until the next, at least for the next 6 months.
until the deadline comes.
Until he's gone.
Next up, I feel like I was top 15 in the world last season, and there was no doubt about it.
Kate Cunningham.
Not Kay Cunningham.
Someone who's audacious, confident. Top 15 in the world.
Okay, so a couple names that come to mind. Would Cade start to talk like this?
No, I said Cade. It's not Cade.
Not Cade.
No.
Cade's not a humble guy per se, but he's too young to be talking like this, and he knows that, I think. Cade is a confident guy, though. Cade will get some
That's what I'm
confident.
saying.
Was this Paolo?
It's not hell no. I don't think Paolo would be saying that after last season. He got hurt.
Does Booker move like this?
Fuck no.
Nah, he already knows. Like, nah.
Booker was talking about I hate my life basically with these teams. Like he's like, these past few years have been rough.
Yeah, he's.
Booker's not saying this.
You can tell.
And
he's
but
a
like
sad
top
boy.
15 is right there.
Is
on
there?
that.
Could this be someone who's like legitimately not top 15 and this would be funny?
I'll say we don't think he's top 15, but he has a reputation. He could say he's top 15.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Not Carl Anthony Towns. This is a player that got hurt last year. And he's basically saying before I got hurt, I was top 15. He was saying I was at my peak and then I got injured.
Tyler Hero?
Not
James Harden.
Neither of those guys got hurt last year. That's the crazy part of what I just
I
said.
completely.
Yeah, James Harden was healthy.
Neither one of those guys match the description. This is Kyrie Irving.
Oh yeah, he did say this.
Yeah, I don't know about top 15, but he was playing amazing before he got hurt. He was an all-star combos. He can
got
feel
it.
this way for sure.
He got it.
Kyrie Irving can always feel like Kyrie Irving is top 15.
You can never argue.
You can't argue
right
against
now.
Kyrie Irving.
So 1-on-1, I'm gonna pick me every single time.
And he probably should.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Next up, I want to be on a team that allows you to win a championship. That's never going to change.
It has to be honest.
It's Giannis. He said this on a radio show on Media Day.
He's not slick. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Wait, he said this recently?
He said that on Media Day to a radio show.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, don't fall for it. He wants to go. He is going to play the first 6 months. They are going to be trash. And then we're going to get to either the All-Star break or 2 days after the finals. He's going to be like, yeah, I'm out. I want to trade. I tried my best. I tried to stay here and be loyal. I just see. You really think Miles Turner is going to change their life like that? He's a good player. He's not going to change their life.
Relying on Miles Turner. Oh my God.
Everything he
Ooh.
says, like he wants to convince himself that Milwaukee is a place for him while also saying, I do care about winning. Trust me. You can't have it both ways. Either you love Milwaukee or you love winning. Those are mutually exclusive ideas here.
I'm surprised he said this. He made sense through the radio show because I found out he had COVID and
Yeah.
he's stuck in Greece right now.
Yeah, he
so
called into Sirius XM to talk for Media Day.
Makes sense.
Next up, who Steve Ballmer is, how he operates, and what he stands for. His pitch was just better.
Oh, this is Boardman. Kawhi Leonard.
This is not Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, this is some Clipper.
This is talking about someone who joined the Clippers this summer.
Yeah, Bradley Beal.
This is Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
He said what Steve Ballmer was offering was better.
I'm not sure if that's a smart choice of words, Bradley Beal.
I'm sure his pitch was great. Why is that?
Let's dive deep.
Why
into
is that,
this.
Brad? Expound upon that idea. we need journalists in the building that care, that will say, "Can you elaborate?"
His pitch was honestly
also, the
just
journalists that
better.
were in the building for Clippers Media Day, weak as fuck. Nobody wanted to push.
You
on
know
what-
why they're weak, bro.
They're just weak. There was no real journalists in the building that were willing to like ask him comfortable questions. They let Kawhi be like, "I don't know."
I
And they
guarantee
just accepted
you,
it.
they didn't allow no journalists, no real journalists in that building. I guarantee you. They spoke to the guys. They were like, "Yo, no questions about this shit."
They're moving like the Trump administration, just arresting all the journalists that walk in.
Yes, exactly. He said, if you ask any question pertaining to Aspire, tires are slashing and making the next 8 months of your life hell.
Say goodbye to your career, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, I don't think we have ever seen that type of athleticism. And this is a player talking about one of his new teammates.
KD.
This is Kevin Durant talking about Amen Thompson.
Yeah,
And
that
all-
only makes sense.
And all I saw on Twitter was salty Russell Westbrook fans saying, "What about Russ?"
What?
Sorry, man. Amen's different.
He is different. I do feel bad. If you were a fan of the Thunder in 2014, this has to be bad because it's like your divorced parents are just throwing subtle shots at each other.
Yeah.
For
But
the
they're
rest of
not
the time.
even that, though. Like, Amen's one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen. That's no shot at Russ. Amen is a fucking alien.
Yes, but it feels like that.
That's because they need to divorce themselves from this weird relationship they have with their favorite player. That's because they're strange parasocial creatures. It's not a shot at anybody.
Where's Russ at right now?
If you're not parasocial with your favorite player, with your favorite team,
What are you doing?
are you actually a sports fan? Are you doing this the right way?
So I know the name of all Jokic's horses.
This is ruining the game that we love.
Next up, once we get Blank back, I don't see why we can't win the whole thing.
All right, so people who are out right now that can come back, I wouldn't say this wouldn't be like the Pacers. It wouldn't be anybody on there because like obviously Tyrese is not coming back. Tatum, they're trying to low key show that he can come back, but I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
But Kyrie is scheduled to come back. Is this Anthony Davis?
No, but it's Klay Thompson talking about Kyrie Irving.
Makes sense.
I got a few reasons why I can't win the whole thing, buddy. A couple.
Yo, Cooper Cup got to have the best rookie season we've seen in years.
Hey, man, if Cooper Cup comes out here and averages a triple-double, I'll give you $1 million. If he was Rookie of the Year, I'll let you stay in my head.
Hey, now don't say that.
No, I will. If Cooper Cup wins
Rookie of the year?
If Cooper Cup wins Rookie of the Year, you can shave my head.
Rookie of the year.
Cooper Cup.
Okay. All right. All right. You got it.
Does he get it yet?
Yeah, I get it. Oh,
Next
my
up.
God.
I'm addicted to these young men.
Whoa.
Who is addicted to these young men?
Who is this old person who's just in this new young building?
Chris Paul?
This is not Chris Paul.
James Harden.
Neither one of those guys are addicted to young men.
Who are the old people? Who are the unks?
Why are you assuming it's got to be old? Why is that where your brain goes?
Because no other young person would be like
Who the
these
fuck's
young
in
men.
this? Who the yeah, you gotta be old, right?
But who gets addicted to young men? That's a different level.
I don't know, bro. Send this to the CIA, not me. I don't want to dive into this.
You don't want to besmirch
I just
anybody's
talk
name.
hoops, bro. Yeah.
This was the Orlando Magic Twitter admin who posted a picture of Desmond Bain with this caption.
Addicted
Forgot-
to
I
these
did
young
see
men.
this.
What
I completely forgot.
is wrong with you? Why isn't this reported?
Addicted to these young men and it's Desmond Bain. Not even that young.
I am. What the hell? I am
How,
reporting.
how old
this.
is Desmond Bain?
At 27, probably. He was an older rookie. So, yeah, I'm guessing like 26, 27.
Crazy picture.
What the fuck?
Cranium is crazy.
It's
It
absurd in this angle. Come on now.
Next up, age is just a number.
100%. You're over 35. Chris Paul.
Steve.
Not Chris Paul.
Oh no.
I'm guessing all the old.
It's Curry.
This is not Steph Curry.
KD.
Alford.
Age is just a number. Not Kevin Durant.
Jimmy Butler.
It's not Jimmy Butler.
Al Horford.
Y'all are just saying every name but the one you should be saying.
Why would you say this?
James Harden.
It's somebody who doesn't believe in age.
LeBron James.
Yep, this is LeBron James. Age is just a number.
This is taken out of complete context, man. You knew exactly what he meant. I can defend him.
Defend him from what? No, we threw any allegations.
Just making sure. Whoever has any weird thoughts or theories,
Do you want to get
to
ahead?
him is just a number for sure.
What do you mean by that?
No, don't tell us what you mean by
65, 75, 50 years
67.
old. Still useful NBA player forever.
And with that being said, that's the last quote we have for you today. We're ending on a high note. Age is just a number, LeBron James. Next thing we are going to do.
That's funny, man.
Let's play a little bit of 5-level game. For the next few weeks, as we preview the NBA season coming up, we're going to do a 5-level game with one team from the East, one team from the West every week. Kind of get a feel for how you think about the teams compared to their peers. First off, let's start with the one that made everybody mad last year, Golden State Warriors. So, I will name 5 teams.
babies.
1 through 5. You tell me who's better, them or the Warriors for this season.
Let the unction begin. Yeah.
Level 1, Sacramento Kings.
They are better than them. The Kings are going to be one of the worst watches in the NBA this
You
year.
don't believe in a Dennis Schroeder-led offense?
No.
Golden State Warriors pass. Level 2, Warriors or Mavs.
This is very close, actually. But I think I might give it to the Warriors.
If
But
Kyrie
it's
was healthy,
like-
it'd be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not. And they still have a lot of moving pieces that they have to figure out. You have to integrate a rookie into everything. I'm going with the Warriors.
If
Yeah.
Kyrie was healthy and if Cooper Flag was in year 2 and we were sure of what he's going to be, then yeah, they would have it. But Warriors get past this level again. Level 3, Los Angeles Lakers.
This is always where it's going to be at.
2 teams that will be ranked close to each other in everybody's season preview.
The Warriors were genuinely like one of the best teams in the league last year once they made that shift.
Yeah, they won like
Didn't do
18
too
to 6
much
after the
else.
deadline.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna go with the Warriors. Now that they actually have a center who can shoot, who can still play some defense, and actually fits into the one thing that they've been missing, I think that moves me. I'm gonna take over.
Their rosters are so old, man. Like they're so susceptible to injury as the year goes on. They're so old.
That starting lineup is crazy.
Dude,
Average age of 34 and a half.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
Whose idea was this, man?
Steph, insert 2 here. Jimmy, Draymond, Horford.
Oh my God. It's not even the unction. That's the fucking nursery home. That's crazy.
That's so old.
Yeah, I'll give it to them for now.
I'm taking the Lakers, but am I ruled?
My opinion is fluid for now. I'm just letting you know.
Lakers are going to be better. Level 4, Denver Nuggets.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
over with.
this is where we stop.
Yeah. You're lucky they let you get by the Lakers. That wouldn't have
Yeah.
been me, but we can't. The Nuggets are going to be so good with that depth now.
Yeah, nah. There's
How many
no.
games? 60?
Nuggets?
Yeah.
Probably.
Ah.
Low-key? That's that.
The Nuggets can win 60 games this year.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, definitely. We didn't say
They're
70. Yeah.
super deep.
They've been winning
But
like 57
60s
with a flawed roster. Like, yeah, they could win 60.
60 is a lot of games. But if anybody can do it, it's them.
Yeah. Best player in the world. Good starting lineup around them with Cam Johnson in there now. Good depth. There's no reason.
Jamal Murray not playing fair?
Yep.
What
The
do you
only
mean by
reason
that?
they shouldn't be the 1 seed is because OKC is one of the best regular season teams of all time.
He said Jamal Murray's not playing fair. What has Jamal Murray done?
Oh, you didn't see?
No.
He switched it up. He's not playing fair.
Okay.
And level 5 would have been the Thunder. Obviously, the Warriors lose there as well.
Hell no.
Sorry, geriatric roster can't get past the top 2 teams out there.
Boo.
Next up, we're going to do it with the Milwaukee Bucks. 5-level team versus the Eastern Conference. Now, keep in mind, this team's probably a little better than you give them credit for just because they have Giannis, who's healthy.
Okay. Let's see.
But not that much better than you give them credit for. I don't know
let's
where
see.
we'll see where the line is.
Yep.
Level 1, Bucks or
No.
Bulls?
Hell no.
The Bulls, level 1.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I hope.
I'll take the Bucks only slightly, but no.
Only slightly.
Maybe about like 2 games.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Giannis better not turn one ankle this year, or it's gonna be.
Oh, they will
disgusting.
win 0 games without Giannis.
Ooh, it's gonna be so sad. Ryan Rollins led offense. Ooh, man.
Level 2, Philadelphia 76ers led by Joel Embiid and Paul George.
If you tell me that they are led by Joel Embiid and Paul George, then I will take the Sixers.
Well, that's for the regular season. You tell me how many
Paul
games everybody's
George
gonna play.
this year?
Ryan Rollins this year,
Why are we jumping on Ryan Rollins back? He's at the 8th best player on the team.
Kyle Kuzma this year,
Bro, hold on.
Kevin Porter Jr. this year.
I trust VJ.
Who will win more games in the regular season is the question here. All things
Honestly,
considered,
it might end right now.
you feel better about the Sixers than the Bucks.
Tyrese Maxey.
Not knowing how many games Joel Embiid is going to play, not knowing if Paul George plays games or if he's good if he plays games, knowing the rest of their good players are young, maybe even rookies.
Tyrese Maxey, Jeremy Kane when he's back. VJ Edgecombe looks good.
You haven't seen VJ Edgecombe play a game.
I just saw
That's not what
preseason
he's talking
highlights,
about.
though, man.
That's not what he's talking about.
You said VJ Edgecombe.
Whoa. No, I'm talking about preseason, man.
Fine, we'll go Bucks.
Sure, yeah. They
By
got
one
that
game.
barely.
You don't have to.
by one game.
Okay.
No, also just because I don't want to bank on the Sixers and their health.
Okay. Level 3, the Pistons.
They lose.
Oh, it's
They lost.
over for sure.
Pistons for sure.
0%
Pistons for
chance.
sure.
that
No
they're
chance
better than
Giannis could be the
Pistons.
MVP.
No chance.
No.
47 wins.
If he wins, bro.
47 wins is ridiculous.
The look you gave me, like I just fucking grew wings. Like I said the stupidest thing ever.
47
wins is wild.
with KPJ, Cole Anthony.
It's
I
not,
can't do it.
They can win 45 games. It's not crazy.
Dude,
They have
Giannis has
Giannis.
to not miss a single game.
He might not miss a
And he
game.
has to put up like 35,
He will put up 35.
12 and 7.
Yes.
He has to have the greatest season of all time.
I believe all of that.
They're not winning 45 games.
Well, level 3, you're done, Bucks. Sorry, this is not a Bucks believer podcast. Go ahead and yell at us. Level 4 would have been the Knicks. Level
Hell
5 would have been the Caps.
Hell no.
No, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Okay, next thing we are going to do today, I am going to show you an NBA player, and I want you to tell me from 1 to 10 how much pressure is on their shoulders this season.
Okay.
So where they are in their career, what their team needs for them, the expectations of the team themselves, how much pressure is on this individual. First off, Victor Wembanyama.
10 out of 10.
10?
Yeah, 10 for sure because De'Aaron Fox is going to
Damn.
be out. People are already crowning you as the next guy in the league. We've been doing it for the next 2 years. You for
Donovan
sure have a
says
lot
you
of
might
pressure.
become a legend this year.
Yeah.
This Blazer.
For sure, you are 100. You have a lot of pressure. I'm
But
not going
you
to say
don't
the most pressure in
understand.
the league, but you have a lot of pressure.
This is my sunshine, so I will make all the excuses possible. So for me personally, there's not a lot of pressure. But you are right. The Wemby is gonna take the next step and be. I mean, ESPN put him as a top 5 player at the end of this next year.
You better make the playoffs.
You have to.
So I'll say 6 out of 10. You need to make the playoffs, but
Bare minimum, play in.
yeah, but you don't got to be an amazing team. You have to stay healthy and make the playoffs at the minimum. Live up to the standards you're given. 6 or 7 out of 10.
It's hard to make the playoffs when you have the lack of spacing that he has on his team. De'Aaron Fox is not going to be there. Dylan Harper has to be super productive day 1 now. Stephon Castle is going to be your lead
Dylan
guard.
Harper's also going to miss start of the season potentially. They're both hurt.
Yeah. However, it's okay. So the Mavericks made the play-in at 39 and 43 last year.
Yeah, there's
You
always
can-
injuries.
You can get to the play-in being sub 500, but you just have to be in that conversation.
Yeah. Be in the conversation for the playoffs. If you don't make it and you lose out by a game, that's fine. Just don't be a bottom feeder team again.
Yeah.
That's completely okay. Next up, Paolo Banchero.
This is like 9 out of 10.
This is as high as it could be, honestly, without it being a 10 out of 10. Just because there's other problems with the team, but he's kind of the answer for a lot of the problems with the team. You have to make up for a lot of issues the roster has.
They just gave him a humongous contract extension, believing that he is that guy. You are getting paid like you were a top 10 player. They gave you a shooter. They also gave you another vet shooter in Tyus Jones as well.
Vet shooter and Tyus Jones?
Yeah, Tyus Jones is a
Sniper.
good shooter.
Tyus
What the
Jones.
fuck?
I'm
Who's ever
just-
described him that way?
He's a good shooter.
He's not. He's a fine shooter.
Tyus- Good and
Tyus?
fine. What's the difference?
I mean, like, he might hit an open 3, but he's not moving the needle for your spacing.
he's
It's Tyus Jones
for
and Kyle
them.
Korver.
He's
Like,
moving the needle.
What are we talking about?
Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones is a good shooter, man. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you've been billed to be the next superstar. It's about time you have to become that. You have to let the production, the efficiency match, because Franz Wagner 3-point shot isn't coming around anytime soon. The spacing's not going to be perfect. The offense will be perfect. You got to lift a lot of heavy. You got to do a lot of heavy lifting yourself.
Yeah, man, just figure it out.
Low key,
Like this,
get it out the mud. That's all you got to do.
That's hard to do.
it's about time. Like, and we were talking about it earlier. You can't just say, "Oh, spacing is the problem," and that means that you suck. Not everybody has the 100% most ideal situation in every single team that they play on. And guess what? I've seen other people. I've seen Kevin Durant score 27 in a cave. In a cave. I need you to be able to score, Paolo.
The roster is flawed. Your co-star isn't the best fit with you. And you know, guess what? Tough. That's what the money's for. That's what they paid you for.
Exactly.
You got to get it out the mud.
Score 25.
It's not supposed to be easy.
Oh man,
That's really the situation they're in. Like, all they can ask for him is to figure it out and be the needle mover that makes everything easier.
just lock in.
Literally,
that.
he has to lock in.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Unironically, he must lock in.
It's that simple, dude. Too many words, just lock in.
Why aren't you already locked in is the question.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
That's a damn good question.
sometimes the game is simple.
Yeah. Fuck a hard 75. Do a hard 230.
Hard 82.
Yeah.
Hard 82 games.
Do you know how many players' lives would be fixed if they just locked in and got buckets?
So simple, bro.
Fuck nuance, lock in. Luka Doncic.
10.
See,
Another 10.
he's good though because he already locked in. He locked in during the summer. Now he just has to
Maintain.
Exactly. Maintain.
Yeah.
Stay locked in.
How much pressure is on a team that doesn't really have championship expectations? I don't know.
Well, it's a lot when everybody's calling you a fat slob for 7 months. Like you do have to come out here and shut everybody up and be like, no, like I can still play
But
basketball.
that's not 10 out of 10 though. That's like a 7 out of 10, I guess. Just like get back to the level you're at before. I mean,
8 out of 10 because he's in LA.
Yeah, he's in LA. You got a contract extension. You got your chain snatched by Shea. You have no MVPs. Someone here don't think you're a fucking legend. Prove that you're top 30 all time.
No rings, no MVP.
Yeah.
Beard grown.
Exactly. Beard grown.
no maidens?
Your coach is out here talking to robots every day. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Just feel something?
Oh yeah. I gotta really go. Man. That's funny.
Yeah, I'll go 7.5 out of 10. He has to lock in, but we know he can. It's not championship or bust. It's just have a good Luka season.
yeah.
Next up, Kawhi Leonard.
I don't know. It could be a 0 or a 10. I don't know because he's good for life. What do you
He
mean?
did already. Well, he said he's like, man, they still owe me.
He said the invoice can't hit yet. What the fuck?
Are you complicit in a criminal act to reroute funds in a legal manner? What funds? I ain't got it. Where the check though?
You said
Oh my goodness. I mean, like on the court,
There is a lot of media pressure though. Like it's gonna be a story all year. That's gonna be annoying. It's low key a decent amount of pressure. That's nothing to do with basketball.
he doesn't care.
what is he gonna do about it? What do you have to do about
Kawhi,
it? Yeah.
this is like, and we listen. Kawhi has the perfect solution to pressure, which is like, just don't
give a fuck.
Exactly. All the blood is on Steve Ballmer's hands. He has nothing to do with this.
He's so locked in. He doesn't care. He's the opposite of Paolo. He's just immediately locked in. All the noise literally doesn't matter.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Ban him from the NBA? He might care if that happened.
He might be happy.
Maybe.
He's the first player that I literally believe doesn't care about the outside noise. Everybody else who says that is a goddamn liar. I fully believe him.
Yeah, when people and like, he might not have internet in the summer.
He don't got internet. Karl Anthony Towns. After the playoffs last year, where some of the weaknesses came out with the good and the bad, what's the pressure rate when they are like the best team in the East after all the injuries?
To start the year, I think like 3 out of 10, because I think a lot of the issues that people said were like, oh, that's Tibbs' fault, and then so now like Mike Brown kind of has to prove that. But whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like as we get later into the season and we start getting into playoff time, you're still out here fouling, you still can't defend. Then it's like, all right, that was cute last year. Like this is our chance to win a chip.
Tatum's gone. Tyrese dead. We better win this year. If you can't defend a pick and roll from Cade and Jalen Duren, oh, you're fired.
Yeah, they went ahead and got more debt. They went ahead and got a new coach. They went ahead and switching up their play style. Like there's no other room for excuses.
Yeah. So 0 out of 10 for the regular season, 12 out of 10 for the playoffs. 100 out of 10 for the playoffs.
That's the only ring you're gonna get. Hope you know that. Oh, you got 2. Never mind.
Stupid.
Hey, man.
Zion Williamson.
12 out of 10.
Oh, for sure.
He can handle more pressure now that he's skinny, though. It's lighter on his bones. He can do
That's
it.
what I'm saying. A lot of pressure has been lifted. So
That is true. That is true. Still, 11 out of 10.
You know what? Yeah, 11 out of 10, because the fact that you got skinny, now I believe you can stay healthy. So now you better ball out, because now I'm no longer going to say, oh, his body just can't deal with it. I guess it makes sense he gets hurt. It's unfortunate. Now you're in shape. Your limbs can handle it. Now it's time to lock in.
yeah, this is 11 out of 10. There's no more excuses.
What if he just got skinny just so he can get paid and like meet that weight threshold in his contract?
Well, good for you.
Successful
locked in.
contract. There we go. Good art of the deal. It worked out for everybody.
Once again, the theme of pressure is just locking in.
And he's super locked in right now. Can you maintain that for the whole season?
Can you stay locked in?
That's the question. There's no reason not to be a top 10 player. A lot of pressure.
Hey, we don't have your pick. Someone else has their pick, I believe, this year.
No, the Hawks have it.
No, the Hawks have the Pelicans pick. I mean, the Bucks pick.
No,
they have the Bucks pick through the Jrue Holiday trade.
No, they traded you their unprotected pick from themselves. I'm pretty sure they traded the Pelicans their own unprotected pick to move up.
I'm not sure.
We have the Milwaukee Bucks pick, I believe.
I'm pretty sure that was the whole talking point.
Either way,
he needs to lock the fucking regardless.
Him, right? He needs to lock in. Joe Dumars needs to lock in.
Yeah.
Everybody in New Orleans needs to lock in because if Zion Williamson does not come out here and play 50 to 55 games and looks the same way that he did 2 years ago, we're gonna have.
They might have traded you the pick that already has the swap built in, so it's the best of Bucks or Pelicans. But I'm pretty sure if they get the number one pick, it'll be a Hawks pick.
Ooh, so ATL will receive the more favorable of Milwaukee's 2026 and New Orleans Pelicans 2026 pick.
Exactly. So the Hawks have your pick. You better lock in.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Yeah, because if he doesn't lock in and he doesn't play, no help is on the way.
Nope, none at all. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
0.
Like 0. I mean, for the haters, I guess like maybe 5, but honestly, he
Fuck
has
them.
nothing to really worry about.
Their
Like,
brains don't work. We don't care about the haters anymore.
Yeah, you're cemented in NBA
Yeah.
history. Just have a long NBA career.
Yeah, I guess like 3 out of 10.
Pressure to go back to back, maintain.
There's not even pressure to go back to back, but let's follow up the championship year without it looking like the Thunder built up to just like one great season and you're never gonna be there again. If you are actually in these conversations with Jokic, you have this team. Let me see you make a run at actually being like, this is my league. I'm at the peak of my powers. I'm doing all of that. So like, I'm not gonna look at Shai if they don't win and be like, oh, he was a fraud last year with a fluke, any of that. But it would be nice to have this run of him being at the top of the league continue.
Yeah, make this your era.
Yeah.
And they're well poised to do that.
Prove it.
Yeah, continue to prove it. Next up, Trae Young. People were saying this is the best roster he's ever had. They have all the archetypes of players they need around him.
10 out of 10 for sure. Like, you want a contract extension, you didn't get that because smartly enough, our GM like wants to see you prove that you are the guy. We brought in all the necessary tools and pieces that every Hawks fan, every smart NBA analysis said, like, you need to build, if you want to build around a small player, length, defense, spacing. We finally have all that. We could say confidently for the first time since 2021, they're all ideal too.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we can squarely put it on your shoulders as the guy stirring the drink. Maybe you just aren't going to be a good engine if you can't win with this team.
Yeah, I agree. 10 for sure.
10 out of 10.
Have to have a big year.
Jaylen Brown.
0.
He's the man on the Celtics.
0 out of 10.
He's living his life, man.
But he's liked so many tweets over the years about what he could do if he had his own team. What if he comes out here and he's insanely inefficient and can't do it? That'd be kind of funny.
Nobody's gonna care. Nobody. Jaylen Brown.
No, they won't. Dude, I promise you, he'll get slandered. If he comes out here and he averages 22 on shit efficiency, he will get slandered by NBA Twitter. That's like, I told you can't be a one option.
Yeah,
he'll get cooked. I promise you.
But it's no pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to each their own if you care about being cooked or not.
He already has the money. Tatum is gonna be back next year. He's like, listen, I'm just gonna hold it down, and that's it. There's nothing for him to prove.
Yeah, he's not playing meaningful basketball games. It's just out there. It's a filler arc.
You could miss the playoffs or you can make it to the second round of the playoffs. No one gives a damn. That doesn't change how we talk about you. You're just collecting your checks.
And that's what's nice. Jaylen Brown has never had pressure on him. Even when Jason Tatum was there and they were trying to win games, it never fell on his shoulders. It still won't.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum or no Tatum, nobody cares about Jaylen Brown's win or loss.
Yeah,
he's just dope.
People should care if they genuinely think that Jaylen Brown is better than Tatum, but no one really thinks that. That's just more so Tatum bringing him down rather than like bringing Jaylen Brown up.
Hey, what if they're somehow they're really good still? Because like Anthony Simons works out and Pritchard levels up and Derek White levels up and Nemias Queta is like a above average starting center. And what if like the 2 seed?
Mazzulla's like the coach of the year for the next 5 years.
What if they're like the 2 or 3 seed?
3 seed?
Whatever. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but like imagine that happens and they're still really, really good.
You said they're gonna be the best team in the league?
Who will be their starting center?
Nemias Queta.
Yeah, Joe Mazzulla, coach of the decade, if that's the case.
But if that happens and Joe Mazzulla is coach of the year, dude, the discourse that people are gonna have about Brown being a better one option than Tatum.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Oh my god. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's also like not that crazy. If you tell me the system is just that good,
I actually think it's massively crazy.
No, I mean it is surprising. But again, with the state of the Eastern Conference, if it's just like Cavs, Knicks, and then them because their system is that good and the 3-point shooting stuff maintains, and Jaylen Brown can't be one option, they could be the surprise 3 seed in the weak ass Eastern Conference. I don't think it's happening, but like
if they
it'll
come,
be discourse hilarious.
If they come into this year and they no longer have Drew Holiday, Luke Kornet, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, or Jason Tatum, and they are the 3 seed, like you said, Missoula coach of the decade.
I'm gonna do a predictions episode. I'm gonna put them like goddamn 7. I'm not gonna predict it, but it's possible.
I don't think it's possible.
Anything's possible.
I think it's possible. With how the East is, it's possible.
It's a mathematic possibility.
Yeah.
With that type of 3-point variance, like I don't know, in a weak conference, crazier seeding things have happened that we didn't see coming.
Like what?
Don't ask. I don't know. Nobody thought OKC was going to be the 1 seed a couple years ago. That was surprising. But granted, those are young players that became stars. That's not really here. Maybe Sam Hauser and Neemias Cater are surprise stars. Or Simons works really well with Joe Mazzulla, and that's a big difference. Again, I will not predict it, but just know it's possible.
It's possible. I'm not ruling it out. You can't.
Giannis.
0 out of 10.
Really?
Maybe pressure in your household in terms of like which city you want to live in next.
I don't
That's
know.
a lot of pressure. That's hard moving across the country.
No, there's pressure on him to make a decision because he keeps talking about I want to win championships, and if they come out and the team isn't good, and despite him playing well, there'll be pressure to be like, all right, man, well, stand on that. Do you want to win or do you love Milwaukee? Make a choice. Otherwise, you better go out there and win some games and prove that you're right to stay here.
I don't think there's any pressure.
Really?
There is this pressure to be honest. That's it.
No, even outside of that,
You think people are over it?
he's gone back and forth for the last couple of years, saying I want to like be somewhere where we could win a championship, and then saying, oh, I love Milwaukee. He's told the line for so long. People are kind of just, what it is. The team is not in a state where you can win a championship, so that's out the window. All he has to do is just show up and just be honest, and everything's fine.
Okay. So you think people are done pretending that he's actually going to leave? They're just fine?
Like if he leaves, if Giannis ends up asking for a trade, nobody's going to be like, oh my gosh, like he's hanging us out to dry. He got him a championship. Damian Lillard popped his Achilles, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. LaMelo Ball.
Dude,
He said on media day he doesn't feel pressure.
he's insane. I don't know what world he lives in, bro.
When we talk about locking in,
He's the least locked in NBA star I've ever seen.
Whoa. He's locked in the tattoo shop. 100%.
Okay. He's locked into the GTA create a player menus.
Absolutely.
you sounded so much like a father in that sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope not.
Stop locking into them cars and those apps.
I see you can memorize the lyrics to that song, but you can't memorize your homework. You don't know that math problem.
I see you remember how to make it to the club, not to make it to the court every night.
Memorize your books, not your friends. That's what my dad would say. friend.
Yeah, but I think if this team once again wins 15 games, I don't know how they can go through another summer of believing that they should build around LaMelo. They have to make some type of improvement this year.
But he's also like, yo, I already got paid. Like I'm chilling.
He doesn't care until next year he's living in Washington. He's like, damn, I got my nice. They don't care. They don't have to lock in.
Send his ass to.
He would love to be in DC over Charlotte.
All right, Utah.
Send him to Utah. Exactly.
You think Danny Ainge wants to deal with this?
I think Danny Ainge.
Why would he? He's a perfect team commander. Hell yeah.
I think Danny Ainge has beggars can't be choosers.
At a certain point, Danny
Send him
Ainge,
to Sacramento. There we go. How about that? Perfect fit.
that's actually
No one will carry. Get
no.
low, like
You can't do that. You
games.
can't send him back to Cali.
Why? That's home. Home court
Exactly. Too wild.
He'll have the arena packed the fuck out. Perfect candidate, honestly.
Nah.
Yeah, I think I may have been cooking, man. That's one of my agendas.
Him in Sacramento. That makes so much
Loki
sense.
could work.
Yeah,
I
Loki
could
could work.
completely
So
imagine
fire.
that, and it would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Him and
LaMelo and
Sabonis.
Sabonis.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Ooh, man.
Trade him
So
for Sabonis. Him and Zach LaVine.
Oh God.
That's real. Put butts in seats hoops.
You just ruined my day.
Hell yeah.
I don't
let's
want
do
to
it.
see that.
I mean, there's a ton of pressure on LaMelo. Like he has to prove that he is worth building around.
It's like him and Zion. They're like in their
Keegan
own
Murray would be
category.
so mad.
Why?
He has to do everything still.
What you mean? No one has expectations for Keegan Murray anymore.
Keegan Murray just in the locker room, just like just reading books, and LaMelo comes in with just like
Boom
a
box
box.
is blasting
Why do you
music.
assume Keegan Murray is some well-read
Oh,
upperclassman?
He plays like that. That's why. Nothing
Yeah.
too special about his game. Just
Because he's
defense.
like mad calm.
He's a dignified gentleman.
He's just mad calm.
Yeah.
What if he's also like ignorant as hell?
Nah, he does a good job of keeping it within.
Okay. Devin Booker.
What if Keegan Murray just
What if he's just wild? What if he's in the streets?
What if he's just reading smut?
What if he's a wine mom?
Look at his Instagram, man.
On
what
book
type
talk.
of guy are you, Keegan Murray?
Reading straight.
Just straight smut.
How much pressure is on Devin Booker?
Nah, Keegan Murray's a regular
Oh, no,
dude.
no pressure at all. When you have
True 0 out of 10.
Yeah, when you have one of the dumbest owners in the NBA, everything can be blamed on him.
He has a lot of pressure to find happiness again.
To enjoy his job.
Yeah, exactly.
To find a way to live with Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks.
A lot of pressure to just try to figure out how you can make this work.
And you
But
know what?
can't.
He has a nice house.
So I'm saying, bro, just go on the drive.
A lot
Yeah,
of
you'll be
cool
fine.
cars. You're right.
Clear
Good,
your
good
mind.
life. That's the last one. Devin Booker truly has 0 out of 10 pressure.
Yeah.
Last thing we're going to do today, we're going to talk a little bit more about, previewing this season. We are going to talk about every single team or every single player that we think can or should get traded this year.
Okay.
So, outside of like is LeBron going to request a trade? Realistic players that will probably get moved at some point and maybe give a couple teams that we think would make sense for them.
Okay.
First off, we're going to go take turns. One of my players and one of most players, one of Dominant's players, go in a circle. We all gave our players beforehand. First off, my first player. What the hell? That is not. I did not put Ben Simmons on my list.
He said, what the hell?
What was the fuck up here? I gave Andre my list. This is not who was on my list. I gotta see.
I'm like, whoa, he's in the league again? That's crazy, bro. Wow.
Oh,
He said, what the hell?
it says Simons. And she thought it said Simmons.
Oh.
This is supposed to be Anthony Simons.
He said, what the hell? Dude, the way your soul just dropped. Like you got the worst news ever.
I was like, Ben Simmons.
Oh my God.
So my first player,
Yeah.
Anthony Simons.
Okay.
I think he was acquired by the Celtics purely to flip and sell high after they get a lot of threes going in the basket in a Joe Mazzulla system. And I think he has Miami Heat written all over him.
Miami
Or Milwaukee Bucks.
Miami
See, I can see Milwaukee. I can't see Miami just because if you're not giving up Tyler Hero, same guy.
Counterpoint. You could see it where they got Terry Rozier. Here's Gen Z Terry Rozier.
I don't know. I think they may be off that wave or trying to find another point guard bucket
They're
getter.
not. They're not off that way.
Because
I promise.
they drafted Yakatunis. They got Norman Powell now. Like it's just kind
Keep
of like
talking
the
about
same
Yakatunas.
dudes.
There's no guarantees they're starter.
Norman Powell's the same dude. So
Sure.
it's like, why?
Okay, that's fair. But listen, Bucks are going to need shooting. And even if it's not Bucks, I just threw a couple teams out there. They are going to pump and dump Anthony Simons. He is gone. As
Easy.
soon as he gets some value going, they're flipping him.
Yeah,
Easy.
that makes sense. Brad Stevens he knows how to operate.
Yeah. Unless like Anthony Simon just like has an insane phenomenon or development and just
Sure.
becomes like a OD 3-and-D shooter.
Yeah, maybe he plays
Player.
so good that he can play with Derek White when Tatum
Yeah.
comes back. That's also possible. But we know what we know about his defense, and we know what we know about his playmaking. He's just a good scorer that isn't super well rounded. So unless that changes, I don't see him fitting the ethos that the Celtics play with long term. But you never know.
Oh, this is me.
Nobody has any comment after that. First off, Mo, who is your first player?
First player up is Devin Booker.
You really think Devin Booker's going to get traded?
I think that he's going to get sick and tired and fed up of the disaster class level of basketball that he's going to be playing over there. In
I doubt
Phoenix. Dude, the West is so good. Like, what are they going to be? Like, where do you predict them
I don't know.
record-wise?
11 or 12? I just don't think Devin Booker gives a fuck. And I think they're not going to trade him unless he really wants to.
I don't know, man. I think he'll probably will give a fuck after seeing how each and every single year, literally coming from the finals since 2021, your team got dramatically worse in every single category imaginable. And I think also too, the vibes. I assume the vibes are going to be terrible as well. And teams possible: Detroit, the Raptors, and the Grizzlies.
If he gets traded, it better be to the Detroit Pistons. We
Shit.
better get him McCade. That fit makes so much goddamn sense. I don't know all the salaries I got to cobble together to make it happen. It would be Tobias Harris and like everything else that makes money. Do it. Him and Cade are the perfect fit for each other. They would both elevate each other.
Yeah. Or shit. So I got a little bit curious here. What if he was sent to the Grizzlies in exchange for like John Morant? That would be such like a good
Is that a win-win?
quasi like rebuild or
That would-
retool. Because like John's a good fit over there in Phoenix, considering like the playmaking hole.
Uh-huh.
You have like a little bit more flexibility in the future, like at least like positionally. And then over there in Memphis, he's a good guy, and he could play alongside Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jaren Jackson as well.
No, that makes sense a lot with him and Jaren. That would only happen if the Grizzlies were like giving up on Ja, if it's like a cultural disaster again, which I'm not going to predict, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, very interesting. And then him and the Raptors as well. Obviously, like
hell no. I'm sorry.
I would only see it
I can't see
happening
that.
if they gave up on Brandon Ingram, but they just gave him a contract. And I was like, him and Scotty Barnes would be fun.
The
Match
Suns
made
would
it
love to bring Brandon Ingram in to come be mid with them while they have to because they have no draft picks.
Oh, he's the perfect player for that. Just hoop, get your buckets.
Jalen Green, Brandon Ingram, Dylan Brooks.
Oh, we're cooking 39 wins.
Yeah.
Butts and seats. Yeah, I mean, I'm past predicting Devin Booker to request a trade, but if he does, like I said, better be the Detroit Pistons.
I think it got to be this year, man. It got to be this year.
I hope so. This would be a good way to spice up the deadline. We need to see him be freed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. This is a top 10 player that has just seen his reputation dwindle over the years because he's been playing on bullshit teams that do not maximize him at all and look for him to be the band-aid over all the other team's issues. Not the right situation for him. I don't think he's thought of. Nobody thinks about him as top 10 anymore. And he's really not that much worse.
Yeah.
He's not a point guard.
It never has been.
And the Suns have tried to force everybody into thinking that he is one. And so it's unfair to him that he's had to go through all of this.
All right, Donovan, who's your first player?
My first player is Jonathan Kuminga.
I also put him on my list. We got some overlap here.
Yeah, this guy, he has to be gone.
It's a guarantee he's going to get traded. That deal they signed, a 1+1, guarantee he will be traded after January 15th.
Yeah. And so my top three teams that I had him, I think the Kings, because obviously there was smoke in the offseason of the Kings bringing them in. There's that. The Bulls have mad space for anybody to come in and just be athletic and run and jump and do all that stuff. And if you also decide that like you want to move away from maybe the current core and mind you, still want to be mid, but want to be a different kind of mid, you could bring in Kuminga and allow him to do the things that he wants to do.
This is just NBA purgatory right here.
All the worst
I could name any other team that fits into this.
That's also the kind of team that Kuminga wants to be on, where he's like, I want to get 20 shots a night. You know who will let you get 20 shots a night? The worst teams in the NBA.
Yeah. I think he will get traded for sure. It comes down to what will the type of trade be. Will they get some depth pieces around him to continue to try to win around their old veterans? Will they get some assets maybe? Will they just drop him in as like a salary dump? We'll see. Depends on how good he plays and what kind of a value he has on that team. But really, this man needs to be a Hornet.
Yeah.
He needs to be a Hornet bad. They need an identity. They need some slashers, people that can fill in the gaps there. Honestly, it's the perfect fit. Him and LaMelo running up and down the field. Wrong show. Running up and down the court in transition.
Yeah.
Or if it's not going to be that, let's get Michael Porter Jr. on the Warriors. Let's swap this
he
guy
will
again.
be nasty on the Warriors, man.
Let's get him in Golden State. Let's put Kuminga on the Nets to go play with those 55-point guards and go be the bucket getter.
Okay. I thought you were 100% trolling with the way you're like chuckling before you said that sentence, but that is one of the best ideas.
I'm just laughing because Michael Porter Jr. would drive Steph Curry into a bottle.
No, dude, how long until Draymond Green does what he does?
Low-key, they might be best friends.
Yeah. Wait.
Nah.
They might be best friends.
I don't know.
Low-key.
But the Nets fit does work. And then I can see maybe Miami just going out and saying, hey, we need something.
You got to put Miami on all these lists because they're just constantly like they need help.
Yeah. But this is not a bad five.
I like this, man, especially the Nets one. Put MPJ next to Moody. He could use that wisdom.
Moody's going to be a good example for MPJ.
He's a good example for anybody.
He is. It's just funny that the younger guy is going to necessarily set MPJ straight.
Listen here, young man.
Moses is wise.
You heard what LeBron said. Age is just a number.
Exactly.
You heard the magic. Addicted to these young men. Next up, my next pick, RJ Barrett.
Oh, yeah. He has to get out of Toronto.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't get traded. Unless it just works really well. Him, Scotty, and Ingram click, and the team is better than we think. It just feels like he's the odd man out. It feels like long-term, if Grady Dick is good, they're better off starting him and getting that better spacing. I put the Bulls and the Wizards as possible teams.
You know what's so funny? During a press conference interview, Brandon Ingram was like, wow, bro, he's really good. I just thought he just shot the ball. He was so surprised with how diverse his game has turned into now these days.
Yeah. And RJ Barrett's a very decent player. Not bad, not great. He could be used by other teams. I think maybe people would doubt the trade value he has. I think teams would be jumping to get him for the right price. And I think the Bulls could make sense. They do a lot of like multiple ball handlers. Everybody can attack and run in transition. Mm-hmm. Like I think he would have fit well there between Giddey and Buzelis.
Yeah, and for the Wizards, like you're gonna have space because once you end up trading CJ McCollum, you'll have a spot.
That's why I put him on there. I think CJ McCollum for RJ Barrett. low-key everybody wins?
I don't know.
I don't know if the Wizards want to pay his salary, but like they don't not use the money anything else.
That steps on Bilal Coulibaly though.
Okay, we're pretty soon going to give up on that being a qualifying factor in these deals. Pretty soon, Bilal Coulibaly's offensive production won't matter very much.
Bilal,
That's true.
they down you on me.
We have like a month more of caring about that.
And really, and that's even delayed because he's going to miss the start.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. We no longer care about that. It's cooked.
Damn.
It's on. We'll let step on Keyshawn George, and I think him and Keyshawn George can survive just fine together.
Facts.
Or will it step on Trey Johnson?
Yeah, I'm not doing that then.
No, but it won't though because he's a shooter, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think RJ Barrett will get traded. Mo, who's your next player?
I got Zion Williamson. Go ahead and send him to Miami. I feel like at this point in time, if you do have another season that's felt like all the other seasons from the past, outside of 2 years ago when he damn near drugged them to the play-in versus the Lakers that one game when he dropped like 40 or whatever and then got hurt, there is just pointless to go ahead and continuously have your roster, your franchise, planning for something that never actually happens.
But they believe in him right now, apparently. If he's skinny and good and stays healthy, don't want to move him. If he gets hurt again, nobody really wants him. So like, I don't know what scenario would have to happen for him to be traded.
So I didn't put him for Miami as well. The team that I put him for, it's kind of complex, and you'll see what I'm cooking. But I'm saying send him to Milwaukee.
Okay,
teams
what
are
the
already
fuck?
Teams are already tied up,
Okay.
and I think when you look at a list of teams who can go ahead and trade for
To pair
someone
him
like
with
Giannis,
Giannis?
no.
You're
It's
swapping Giannis and Zion?
it's convoluted. So going back to what we said about, or what I said about the Hawks. So the Hawks actually have control of the Bucks pick and also New Orleans pick. We have the favorite to swap with either of whatever is more favorable. And so I believe, okay, if the Bucks are in a position to just like not be choosers, just beggars at this point in time, Zion Williams is damn near one of the best guys to put in that position for this team where you just don't have much expectation. If he's good, he's good. If he's not, he's not. We get some control of our picks back. I think it's damn near like
So are you saying trade Giannis for Zion?
it's a 3-team trade that I'm building up here. I'm really in the lab right now.
All right.
Okay, next one.
When
Done.
Sham said that it was going to be a monumental offseason, I got
Just
the
keep
intellect.
Okay, Donovan, who is your next player?
I got the intellect.
My next player is Kobe White.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think like the Bulls, once again, they are eternally mid, and if they want to change up the kind of mid that they have, and also if they want to switch up the way that they've been operating, which is, hey, we have this good player, we're not good enough. Let's actually go get some compensation for him at his peak value. Now would be the time to trade Kobe White. If the Rockets get halfway through the year and the point guard situation is a mess, the offense is terrible, do you go package some assets? Do you go get Kobe White? If you're the Wolves, do you try and make some things shake to where now that Nickeil Alexander-Walker's gone, if Rob Dillingham isn't panning out, if Terrence Shannon Jr. isn't doing all that, you go get some more scoring, and then obviously the Miami Heat, you just need scoring, so you go and you make that trade. But I like the Rockets one is the one where it's the most realistic for me because I can see the non-ball handling, the non-point guard being an issue.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Kobe White would make a lot of sense in the Rockets.
And
they do need a point guard.
Yeah, but what would they give up?
Well, money, they'd figure out the salary thing. I think eventually they could trade DFS to be salary filler. I can't remember exactly what Kobe White makes, but they could cobble together the salaries. Just Tari Eason, do you get rid of one of your wings?
They
Kobe White?
are like in a weird dispute when it comes to contract stuff with him.
Yeah, if you want to flip Tari in some drafts,
I wouldn't want to do
salary
that.
cap.
Tari feels like a part of the identity.
Okay, so like I wouldn't want to either, but if you're keeping him in, and I just gave Jabari Smith $25 million.
Yeah.
And so like you do have some incentive to also still prioritize his development. And he is a really like he's a good defender. I'm okay with that.
If it was
it's going to hurt a lot. I do understand that giving up Tari Eason, but if you are in this window where you have Kevin Durant right now, he's 37, he's playing well, but you know that you still just need to get over the hump. Maybe Kobe White is the answer.
I don't know. I think if you give up someone like Tari Eason, you're giving up some of your identity and some of your superpower for someone like Kobe White, who is like a positive NBA player on any team. I just don't think it's worth it for the sake of losing yourself in that, you know?
Now, if I tell you that we get to January and they're 22nd in offensive rating, how would you feel?
Reed Shepard, you got to go. Or I said Reed Shepard. Yeah, he got to go.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they also, if Reed doesn't quite hit like they want to, they could just trade Reed Shepard for him.
Yeah.
Get a win now player.
That would be the cleaner one to me.
Okay. And obviously salary fielder, which I got to look into what that would be.
Yeah. Whether it be like, I don't know, Clint or whatever it might be.
Clint, DFS, Reed Shepard. We could cobble it together. Kobe doesn't make that much money. Yeah. Next one. My pick. CJ McCollum. Another player that I'm almost certain was acquired to be flipped. They're going to love him for 50 games to come in and mentor the youth, do everything he can to make them play serious basketball. End of the day, their pick's top 8 protected. They must lose games as fast as possible. They are going to ship him out of here and get maximum value for him. Similar reason last time. The Rockets need a guard. The Rockets need playmaking. They need all the shooting they can get. I think this will be a nice little combo for them. Or the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks need him. I don't know if the Wizards want Kyle Kuzma back or not, but we can talk about a 3-team deal and send Kuzma to the fucking moon and get CJ McCollum in here.
Any move that gets the Bucks a little bit more scoring in the backcourt, I'm with it.
Yep.
We can do all of that.
Listen, CJ McCollum, Miles Turner, rounding out the big 3 with Giannis.
Top 4 seed.
That's actually not terrible.
We can do worse.
Yeah, that's actually not terrible.
It's also not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's better than where they were before.
Yeah, so again,
so many pieces for Doc Rivers to optimize.
Yeah, it would have to be a 3-team deal in which somebody wants Kyle Kuzma and somebody's willing to give up something of interest that the Wizards want. Mm-hmm. That's kind of difficult to imagine unless Kyle Kuzma has a bounce back season, which he could. But with that being the case, I think CJ would be a good buck.
Okay. I wouldn't hate that. Wouldn't. Yeah. Okay.
I like it.
He'd have good synergy with Giannis. He can operate in the same areas Chris Middleton used to operate in.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
He's really just smaller Chris Middleton.
I don't know about that.
Mo, who's your next player?
Again, hey, we're trying to help the Bucks. We're finding ways to help the Bucks. Someone who's probably going to be cheaper for sure, and who is not as highly touted as a commodity is Cam Thomas. Is he a worse player than CJ McCollum? Yes. Does he have any playmaking to his game? No. Is he a bucket getter? Yes. Do they need buckets? Absolutely. They need to do something. This is one of the bare moves, one of like the bottom feeder teams that the Bucks are. This is a move that they could do to like help their lives look better at least.
The Bucks need anything they can get. Beggars cannot be choosers. With that in mind, there might not be a single guard I could imagine that's a worse fit with Giannis than Cam Thomas. No shooting, no defense.
I got you, KPJ.
Damn it.
But you know what? For Cam Thomas, we talk about like Kuminga wanting to go to a team where he can get 20 shots. Cam Thomas all summer is like, listen, I'm not a black hole. I actually contribute to winning. This would be your opportunity to prove Zach Lowe wrong.
Do we think he'll get traded though? You know, the qualifying offer in the air now, so he's expiring.
Maybe.
I think he will.
I think so.
They clearly don't like agree on his value.
Yeah, and I think the Nets, you drafted multiple point guards. Like you are still in a rebuilding phase. You're probably going to flip MPJ, still get more assets. And for a guy that you don't see eye to eye on, yeah, let's flip Cam Thomas and get something for him.
I honestly think they might as well just like probably keep him. You got 5 different point guards or 4 different point guards. What if that means, or really 3? What if that means they want to give him looks in 3 different ways?
Ooh. But next year he'll be an unrestricted free agent, and they couldn't agree on his value now. They probably won't agree on it next year because he's not going to change that much as a player. So yeah, maybe they trade him to get another pick in the door. So that means it won't be the Bucks because they need picks. But dude, I just realized in this conversation, they could trade MPJ, Claxton, and Cam Thomas and have the worst roster in NBA history for the last 20 games of the season. That's on the
Adam Silver has to step in at that point.
Wow. Nah. This might be a hilarious team. We're going to get generational March basketball performances because teams get to play them. Jalen Green will drop 50 on that team.
Oh, I can't wait.
But yeah, I don't know about the Bucks, but I do see Cam Thomas as an obvious trade candidate given the contract dispute. Yeah. And I don't know where the fit is, but somebody out there will surely want him. Donovan, who's your next one? Apparently,
we're dropping the hammer. Giannis, obviously, the big. We thought it could have happened this year. We have to talk about it.
At some point, we have to believe him. He's not going to request his trade. He loves Milwaukee. He just won't say it. He keeps pretending he wants to win. No, he wants to eat cheese curds.
No. If he's actually about his business,
he's not.
If he does request a trade, and I promise you, 30 games of what the Bucks are about to do might drive him there. Possible teams. We have the San Antonio Spurs that obviously they're also in another situation where you have 3 point guards. How the hell are we going to make it work? If that situation is getting a little muddy, maybe you accelerate the timeline, especially if Wemby hits that next level and you realize, oh, we're actually can be closer than what we think. Maybe. Then, and I'm going to say this for you. So the next one, the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
You need something to stand on. You guys are irrelevant as a basketball franchise right now. What if they just pull the trigger and say, we're going to jumpstart this rebuild?
That would be...
Dude, if the Bucks did this, that's the ultimate fuck you to Giannis.
If the Nets acquire Giannis, they are the stupidest franchise I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
I will say there's another team that I kind of just been thinking about. I didn't put it on here. But if we're talking about jumpstarting rebuilds, if you're the Wizards, man.
What the hell, man? You don't...
If you're the Wizards, we have a whole bunch of pieces just in the young core. Let's do something, man.
You want Giannis to leave the city he loves, the city that helped him come to America
I'm
and
not
live a
saying
new
that,
life,
no.
to play with Alexander Sarr?
No. What I'm saying is, if Giannis was in free agency, I wouldn't want him to leave Milwaukee in free agency to go to Washington. But if he told the Bucks, hey, I want to be traded, at that point, Milwaukee's like, all right, bye. We're getting the best package. And if the Wizards start sending Wizards FC players over to Milwaukee, then we can build. Because it's probably going to be better in terms of the long-term outlook than what anybody else can give them.
I'm just done believing he's going to be traded.
And then...
Oh, yeah, the Atlanta, simply, like, Bleacher Report put out an article the other day. I've always thought this in the back of my head as soon as we made that trade. Giannis, we have the best trade package for you. Now, look, I understand. I'm not even going to start to think about the on-court stuff when it comes to Trey and Giannis and what that would look like. I just want him here in Atlanta. I got all the spots for you. But in terms of the Milwaukee Bucks and how it could benefit them, of course, you get control of your pick back in one of the draft classes of this decade is what's supposedly said about or from all these draft scouts.
Three superstars up top.
Yeah, exactly. You can have control of your pick back. And that's something that they don't have the ability to access for the next 4 or 5 years. You don't want to be in that territory.
And not only would it be your pick, it'd be your pick or the Pelicans, the pick swap. That's a double dip, beautiful pick.
And on top of that, too, I love Jalen Johnson, but I don't love him more than Giannis. Go ahead. Nothing will be better for Bucks fans to watch someone who's a homegrown kid and Jalen Johnson, who's from Milwaukee, to go ahead and hoop for those fans. And then whatever else might work, cap-wise, whatever future picks that we might have for you, you can have.
I'm glad you guys presented the Giannis thing so we can get the clickbait thumbnail picture where I put Giannis on there.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I think when Giannis or when Shams said that this is going to be a big summer, it was probably alluding to something like this.
You think you heard that Giannis is maybe going to make the move and Giannis got cold feet?
Yeah, exactly. That's just the only thing that makes sense. There's nothing else looming or nothing else was a big question for the summer.
That is a good point. What was he talking about? What the fuck was in his mind?
Giannis, I swear to God.
Yeah, he probably had to be honest, right? He probably had to be, oh shit, Giannis is a Spur.
You think he's talking about KD for the millionth time? No.
That's probably part of it. But the point was that wasn't going to be the headline.
The only thing is it would be Giannis getting traded and Luka not signing an extension or something like that and everything goes crazy. But
it had to be Giannis. Because that's the biggest ticking time bomb that everyone's waiting for in the league.
And he just loves it.
And he just lied to us.
He loves it.
He doesn't love it. He's lying, bro.
No, I think he hates it. I think it's agonizing to him that he knows he needs to leave the Bucks, but he really doesn't want to. I think it's agonizing to him.
It probably is. He's probably in that Kevin Garnett stage right now.
Oh, no, he 1,000% is.
Where Kevin Garnett's crying. He's like, I'm losing. But Kevin Garnett was doing that for 8 years. This has been a summer.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave. He wants to be loyal. And shout out to him. He wants it really bad. Don't think it's going to work out. My next pick, Lauri Markkanen. There's a lot of smoke here. He can finally be traded after giving that big contract. I wrote Pistons. Everyone's talking about that. That's a nerd pick. Everyone's saying give Kay Cunningham his second star. That'd be cool. The Spurs, I don't know after paying De'Aaron Fox if they want to go again with another big contract. If they are about that, I think Lowry and Wemby would be awesome. Third one. What if the Cavs lose in the finals again? Or lose in the playoffs again? And they trade Jared Allen for Lauri Markkanen? And go back to Evan Mobley at center next to Lowry. Run it back with Lowry being a star now.
I don't think the Cavs have enough to trade for Lowry.
Jared Allen, straight up.
Jared Allen, nice. Hell no.
That would get it done. It would be a 3-team deal because I don't think the Jazz would want Jared Allen. Whatever assets go to a third team, send to the Jazz.
You're running double big lineups with Walker Kessler and Jared Allen.
Yeah, dude. So a 3-team deal where Jared Allen goes out. That was straight up Jared Allen for Lauri Markkanen makes sense value wise. Obviously, moving parts. We'll get some pick swaps, whatever the fuck. But that framework could make sense if they want to give up on the double bigs.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Because also the Lowry trade stuff, yes, he is going to be a great fit with everybody. It's been a year and a half since we've seen Lowry play some meaningful basketball again. he's a year and a half older. By the time the trade actually gets done,
He's so expensive now too.
it's just gonna be
He's
crazy.
making like
So
damn
like I
near
can
50 a year.
Honestly, Danny Ainge, that was very stupid to give him that big contract unless they plan to keep him long term, which would be very stupid. I mean, maybe, I don't know, unless they get better fast and Ace Bailey's a star and now you have 2 stars, great. But assuming that's not the case and assuming they're going to be rebuilding for a long time, making him expensive and no longer a bargain before you trade him, dumb as fuck.
Yeah, he actually has been so bad as not so bad, but not a really good GM at all.
And also, live marketing made it hard because he wanted to get paid on that specific time, that specific date. When taking that trade means he couldn't be. I mean, taking the deal on that day meant he couldn't be traded last season. Yeah. So live marketing also was strategic because he didn't want to get traded.
Yeah, he fucked with Utah. I feel it.
So he forced Danny Ainge's hand a little bit. So I guess I can't put all the blame on him. But Danny Ainge could have shipped his ass out before that date.
Yeah,
could have.
Genuinely one of the worst under the radar moves.
The Capitol one is interesting though.
Yeah, dude, that offense would be nasty with just like, I'm not even thinking about guard play. Just like him and Evan Mobley, that synergy would be dumb.
It'd be filthy. It would make more sense on paper. Granted, the double bigs has strengths. I don't think they have to give up on Jared Allen or anything. Yeah. But if they did decide to do that, this would make a lot of sense.
Dude, your offense, this is one of like the 5 best offenses in the league.
D. Mitch really slashing with Evan Mobley and Lowry marking and spacing and cutting. Oh,
and you got Darius Garland just dicing people up, sending up these shots too. Ooh, that off-ball play is gonna be disgusting.
Don't get me started. We split up the guards and we split up the bigs
again.
Now we're gonna get interesting.
Yeah, this is nasty. Nasty the best way possible.
I don't know where we're setting Darius Garland, but we bring in a big wing, and we have these two, a giant wing. Donovan Mitchell.
Slow down. This is too many moves now. Too many moves.
We can make some shit happen.
Then when I bring in Mitchell Robinson, everybody starts running.
Yeah, I feel like ladder marketing has to be moved at some point, or unless that's their franchise player, which that doesn't feel like that's in the air right now.
Hell no.
Mo, who's your next player?
Next player, we can keep this somewhat quick. Quentin Grimes. Of course, he went ahead, and I think he signed a qualifying offer with the Philadelphia 76ers. They didn't really want to pay him for real. They don't believe in him. I think it was asking for like $25 million a year or something like that.
They offered him $10 million a year. They offered him 4 years. 40.
Oh, did he want 25?
Yeah, he wanted 25. They offered him 10.
Yeah, I got that reversed. Yeah,
they don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand, and I feel like he's an amazing trade candidate for someone like the Pistons, especially. You don't know what you have in Jaden Ivey, and someone like Quentin Grimes is just like a great depth piece.
Trade him back.
Oh, he was there. You're right. Damn.
You forgot.
Yo, you're right.
And just played some of the worst basketball of his career while he was there.
Yeah, you're right. That was when he was freshly traded there from the Knicks. You're right.
Yeah, he shot like 90%.
He was ass.
So the Grizzlies are the Blazers. That's your Quentin Grimes destination.
Hey, man. Yeah, the Blazers, whatever. Just another 2 guard. Who cares?
Okay. Donovan, who's your next pick? Oh, we agree.
Nick Claxton.
Oh, I agree 100%. If they do not trade him, it'll be malpractice.
Yeah, this is if they don't trade him, we're getting into Bulls territory, malpractice.
Celtics need a starting center. Pacers need a starting center. One of you better win this bidding war.
Yes, the Grizzlies. Listen, we can see it happen if Zach Edey, if the injuries keep going, or you feel like you just want another center, kind of just rebuild that. I can see that. And then the Hornets. You just shipped out your old starting center rotation. Let's build it back up, right? Let's go get somebody else.
You're going to interrupt Mason Plumlee hoops?
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah, back off.
Respect.
My bad. But the Celtics, if the Celtics can make a run at Nick Claxton, and when Tatum comes back, you actually have like an actual center that you can play there. I like that for them.
Yep. The Celtics have to require a center at some point. They're not going to go into next season when Tatum's back with the Mias Queta. They just won't. So it's either going to be this summer or in the season if they can have the right trade candidate. And, they like to switch a lot. Nick Claxton is a switching genius at the center position. They don't have the stretch 5 in that case, what they know and love. They can figure it out. I think it would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Guess what? That just means that everybody else has to take more threes.
And they'll be happy to.
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard's going to be so happy.
Donovan, last one.
I would assume.
Oh.
Okay.
I think that the Nuggets, potentially, if you just want to get another body there. The Lakers, I think it's a little bit interesting, right?
He's a good fit there.
Especially when you have like Austin Reeves and that whole situation is kind of unknown. I don't think that you can trade like Austin Reeves directly to the Bulls or whatever, but you can get there. And then the Warriors, you just have to get younger. And so if you bring somebody in who can do a little bit of everything, can be like a pseudo like Swiss Army knife.
You know who that sounds like? Pods. What's your beef with Pods?
I mean, the pot starts the season the way that you started last season.
That is true.
I promise you, they're gonna be like, hey, who else can we get in here to fill this role? So yeah, those three teams. Because I also don't know. I really just want the Bulls to trade everybody.
They're never gonna do that. I see you want that.
I think that they can trade everybody. They can he's also an expiring contract, and so would it be malpractice for the Bulls to trade somebody on an expiring contract?
They would never do that
to get something before they walk out the door.
Too logical.
Yeah, come on. You know
I don't know.
You're asking for too much.
Let's live in this reality.
I know. Calm down. Okay, and that's the last one. That's a good mix of realistic names that could be traded this year. I think we did a good job without the exception of Giannis and Zion. I think we did a good job of keeping it realistic.
Yeah. Oh no! Come on, the Hawks thing makes sense.
Giannis is realistic. To get traded, it is.
Yeah.
The Hawks?
Potential.
Who has their? You can't.
Potential.
It is a possibility. It is mathematically possible.
Did you?
We have their
it is mathematically possible.
We got their pick.
Argue.
We got them by the.
I will not debate that. You are correct.
Did you think that Dame was gonna go to the Bucks? No, people come out of nowhere all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm hearing is Giannis is a Blazer. We're getting a team out of nowhere.
Dude, if that happens, I'm coming there myself, and I'm not. Giannis has to move me from them doors.
What would be his version of Dame going to the Bucks? A team that we don't see. You know what it is? It would be Giannis going to the Timberwolves, and them shipping out Gobert and all their valuable young players.
Nah,
shipping out Gobert. I think
because the Bucks were a good team that had to mix it up. Had a few years trying with this core, and they came out of nowhere and made a big move. That was oh, okay, didn't see that coming.
I think it might be someone like the Grizzlies. Got hella picks.
Yeah, that's possible, but that wouldn't be that's definitely possible. But that wouldn't be similar to the Bucks thing. I'm trying to think of a contender that we don't see coming. I guess the Knicks, low key. Yeah, Cat for Giannis. I guess that's kind of similar.
Nah, they got no picks. That can't happen.
I mean, if the Hawks aren't
Cavs.
seriously, I would be so upset.
Garland and Jared Allen for
I'd
Giannis.
be so upset.
Do they have picks like that too?
If they end up with a lineup with D. Mitch, Giannis, and Mobley,
Ooh, that'd be filthy.
I'm a scream.
It's so over.
If you're the Bucks, would you do that? Just two young all stars, just Garland and Jared Allen straight up.
Yeah. Fuck yeah,
that'd be sick,
dude. That's a cool 45-win team. You're not gonna be ass. Yeah, I'll do that.
That'd be sick. Why not?
Yeah.
Cool. With that being said, if you're still here at the end of this episode, comment where you want to see Giannis play next year. And we'll see y'all next week for another preview episode filling out this NBA preseason.
Send him to Seattle with Cooper Cup.
No, there's Cooper Cup again.